duties were handled by Micah Childers tonight. The Columbus flag duties were handled by Jordan Randall. The Falcons did meet at midfield, did plant the flag on the orange logo that represents Southaven.
Shots have been fired.
The band is now exiting the stadium, which means we should be an hour or so away from kickoff by the time. They filed into their seats.
If Bobby Hall was here, this never would have happened.
No. And it won't at Falcon Field next Friday either.
6:45.
Well, no, I say that now. Senior night last year, there were.
It was an endeavor.
There were 2 class reunions held during senior night a year ago.
There were roughly 112 seniors on last year's team.
I won't speak for next Friday night, but typically on most Friday nights we do not kick off past 7 o'clock. But we may be on TV tonight. You just never know.
You never know. TV timeout delaying the start of this one.
We're on the visitor side of the stadium, so information will be slow coming to us. I can pretty much pretty much confirm that.
People at home may know what's going on before we do.
Southaven will be dressed tonight in their orange tops, white pants, blue numbers, white trim. The Falcons are in their traveling white top, white bottom, purple numbers, gold trim. And I have to say, both sets of uniforms are quite easy to read.
Yes.
Very, very appreciative of that. Jason Crowder doesn't deserve those kind of things in life, but I want uniforms I can read.
After driving as much as you've done the past 2 days, you deserve easy-to-read uniforms.
It has been an exciting 48 hours, to say the least. Southaven will go from right to left. They will tee it up at the 40. Commercial Dispatch player feature Jordan Randall. He promises a kick return by the end of the year. He is back deep along with Kenneth Martin, Javorius Vance as well. And needless to say, we were ready to kick off and they blew a whistle.
Yes. The referees have been sitting here for 20 minutes and they apparently still were not quite ready. Now we're ready to go.
Okay.
We think.
The officials have given the readiness. Here is the kick. It is high end over end. It will bounce at the 20 and go out of bounds at the 10-yard line. And the Falcons will have the first advantage of the night with the kickoff out of bounds.
My prediction holds.
The Southaven kicker is not on the roster. And,
there you go.
So that young man kicked the football out of bounds.
Which means he will stay off the roster for at least one more week.
The weekly kicking update provided by Allstate Insurance from Jackson Ludford said the Southaven kicking was
no bueno,
not up to par in the pregame. So,
and Jackson knows his high school kicking.
I do.
So we will see what that holds for us. Columbus will start first down and 10 from its own 35-yard line. And we will get this football game underway. Behind center tonight is the junior, Latarius Stowers, quarterback, 8 touchdown passes on the season. He's joined in backfield by Patrick Jackson and Derek Jordan, and the first down carry goes to Derek Jordan, and it's not for much of a gain at all. In fact, they're going to spot it as a 1-yard loss. And Anthony, the thing is, when you're on the road, you want to start fast.
Yes. You mentioned in the pregame, Scott, our extended pregame tonight, that getting off to good starts has been the key to victory for the Falcons.
Second down and 12 after a 2-yard loss officially. And Stowers is back to throw. Throws it in the flats, and the pass is complete. And that is Patrick Jackson who goes down with it. They rule it incomplete.
Yeah, late. It was hard to see, but the line judge right in front of the Columbus sideline. Hard for us to see, but he came in late and ruled incomplete.
Okay, we mentioned in the pregame, Latarius is supposed to be able to throw the football tonight, but will be limited with some of his movement as he battles back from the shoulder injury. Here on 3rd and long, the pass is underthrown. Javorius Vance was the intended receiver, and Columbus will quickly go 3 and out. And the Falcons will rely on their defense if they are going to get a fast start tonight. Now, Chris Taylor is in to punt. He is the senior, handles all the kicking duties for the Falcons, and has had quite a good 3-year career with Columbus. And he will be kicking off of his green shoe, standing around the 20-yard line. And hopefully he'll get some pepper on this kick. Here is the snap back, and it's a high end over end kick, and it will go out of bounds, and cheerleaders scatter.
That's not a good kick.
No, that was not what Columbus was looking for there. And Columbus, the cheerleaders had to seek shelter there when the ball bounced out of bounds and landed on the track area. And we'll see. The officials will have to guesstimate where that went out of bounds at.
It's going to be at the Columbus 46-yard line, about a 12-yard kick.
Yeah,
and that's unusual for Chris Taylor.
Yeah, and unfortunately here of late, it's been feast or famine. If the night has started off as a struggle, it has continued. But certainly kicking will be important tonight, and hopefully Chris will regain his confidence and be able to help the Falcons out of some tight spots tonight. First down and 10 from the Columbus 46 for Southaven. Here is the handoff, and it goes to Hurt, number 24. Is that Amati?
I think it's Amati, yes.
Amati Hurt, and the tackle was made by Dante Gillespie, and that is a 1-yard pickup on first down. I have a magnifying glass I have at work, and I just need to bring that one week. That would help the situation tremendously. Here is the 2nd and 9 play. It's a pass over the middle, and simply dropped by the intended receiver. Kenneth Martin was in the defense area for the Falcons, and that was intended for Cedric Owens, who was unable to come up with the catch.
He was open too, a little short curl route, and he would have been tackled immediately. Maybe got some alligator arms on that one.
The Chargers now facing a 3rd down and 9. Here is the snap back to the quarterback. Heavy pressure, and Columbus is going to take him down. Well, that was quick off of his feet by Josh Gray. He simply busted right through the line of scrimmage and took the quarterback down for the sack. Sophomore quarterback Jonah Posey.
I don't even think there was an orange shirt on him. He just busted through.
Yeah. Southaven is also dealing with some quarterback issues. Their starter will not be able to go tonight, and that will set up a 4th down and long. They're going to put the football at the 43-yard line.
So to your point, Jackson, it was almost as if Southaven was trying to get a screen set up.
So that is a 12-yard loss on 3rd down. Here is the Southaven punt. It will bounce and roll dead at the 22-yard line. So a punt of 35 yards there for Southaven. And we've had 2 possessions. And Columbus will take back over with 9:54 to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from around there on 23-yard line.
So a couple of 3 and outs. The defenses certainly appear to have gotten off the bus a little quicker than the offenses. We'll see if the Columbus offense can settle down here on their 2nd possession.
1st down and 10 from the 23-yard line officially. The Falcons in their 2nd possession of the night. Stowers is at quarterback. He's joined in the backfield by Derek Jordan. Receivers split out are Martin and Vance. Stowers keeps it on the rollout, then throws it in the flats. Pass is complete for good 1st down yardage. Patrick Jackson stiff arms the band before going out of bounds, and they're going to spot him down right at the stick. So it's going to be about a 9-yard pickup, and that will bring up a 2nd down and 1.
I like that play call, sort of like a run-pass option that he had there, and that's something you want to give. He didn't want to take the hit, and I really like the looking towards his receiver, not looking upfield.
Yeah, certainly a redesigned Columbus playbook, so to speak, tonight to keep their quarterback upright more often and keep him healthy and keep him in the contest. 2nd down and 1 now for the Falcons. Now Southaven jumps, no flag. Hand off to Derek Jordan.
It's a fumble.
Yes, the ball is loose. It's on the ground and recovered by Southaven. It was a bad handoff between the quarterback and the running back, Derek Jordan. And the fumble is recovered by number 27. That is Cedric Adams, a junior free safety. And all of a sudden, the Columbus defense now will be facing a difficult task with Southaven with a short field to work with. 1st down and 10 from the Columbus 28-yard line.
Another offensive miscue, and here come the Chargers. The Chargers have run almost every single play from scrimmage so far this quarter in plus territory on the Falcon side of the 50-yard line.
1st down and 10 from the 28 for Southaven. Here is the snap. Quarterback, heavy pressure again, throws in the flats, and this one is dropped as well. Now, we are not in the Jackson-Ledford field goal range yet. We have not passed that green line that Jackson likes to put on the screen.
It's at the 10-yard line, if you're asking.
Okay,
if you're wondering.
So a 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Chargers.
Early on, and it is very early, but the Falcon D-line getting a lot of pressure on Posey.
They look good.
Yeah, certainly a situation where you would like to see the defensive line control the line of scrimmage and make Southaven more of a one-dimensional team. Heavy pressure again this time, and there's just miscommunication. And it was intended receiver was number 7, who failed to make the roster.
It just looked, he cut the other way than the quarterback was throwing.
He was wide open, too.
Oh, yeah, there was no one around him.
He didn't think the pass was for him, though, because he wasn't on the roster. So, 3rd down and 10.
We're 2 for 2 in the first quarter here. Southaven players not on the roster.
Yes. 3rd down and 10 now from the 28-yard line. Quarterback back to pass again. Oh, we have, yes.
That's going to be targeting.
But
the pass was incomplete. Devin King with the defense, and then he was hit after that play. Who hit him after the play? Jalen Hickman?
Yes, Hickman came in helmet to helmet on the intended receiver, who is the mysterious number 7.
Right.
It wasn't intentional, though. That ref should have seen that. That was not intentional. I mean, for safety reasons, I do understand the rule.
Well, they have signaled. They simply signaled pass interference, so this may be against Devin instead.
Well, to be honest, if you're Columbus, you'd rather take that.
Yeah, I didn't see that,
right.
But
because the ball was tipped by a Columbus player.
So either way, a 15-yard mark-off is what we expected, and that's what we're going to get. And our first down tonight.
So they'll spot the ball at the 18. They had to, with 10 yards apparently.
Did they call it defensive holding?
They signal pass interference, but it's been marked off 10 yards. Quarterback back to throw this time, and the pass is over his.
No, holding it in.
Wow. Couldn't see in the corner of the end zone there. It's rather dark, and it was caught by number 84, the receiver on the touchdown, and he is not on the roster.
Please, unreal. We're gonna have to at halftime try to get a new Southaven roster. 84 on the reception. PAT is up, and it is good. And Southaven, that's a beautiful throw, fader pattern in the far corner of the end zone. That's the right corner, right back corner. And Southaven on top 7-0. I'm with you, Scott. When it left Posey's hands, I thought it was going to be at least 3 or 4 yards past the intended receiver.
But the Chargers are able to cash in on the fumble and take advantage of the short field to score the first touchdown of the ball game. Now we'll have to see if the Columbus offense can come up with an answer when they go on the attack here. And again, you had the stop on 3rd down. The pass interference call extends the drive, and Southaven scores.
And the Columbus coaching staff giving the referee who called that penalty an earful, and now we have a flag thrown, and we're probably going to get a sideline warning here on the Falcon coaching staff. They were not happy at all with that call. It was an odd call. They could have called a personal foul. They did not call a personal foul on Columbus. Instead, they called pass interference, which was from our vantage point, a questionable call. And then, after signaling pass interference, they marked the ball off 10 yards instead of 15. So a confusing scenario, but Southaven on a nice play takes full advantage, 18-yard touchdown pass, and they're on top right now, 9:18 to go, first quarter, 7-0.
So the Southaven kick unit will get to kick off 15 yards further downfield, and you would think this would be a touchback opportunity. But we'll see what the Chargers elect to do. They may go with the short kick as well and try to steal an extra possession. So 15-yard penalty on Columbus after the pass interference infraction as well on that drive. So both penalties in the ball game marked off against the Falcons, and Southaven will now tee it up from the Columbus 45-yard line for the kickoff. And it is going to be a normal kick. It's going to go end over end and sail out of the back of the end zone. And that will be a touchback. And Columbus will get to go first down and 10 from its own 20-yard line.
So I was mistaken. I thought we'd get a sideline warning. Instead, we got just a straight-up 15-yard personal foul called.
On the coaching staff. The head ref pointed directly at Randall Montgomery.
Again, the Falcon coach is unhappy with the penalty called against, we suspect, Devin King on a third down play that extended the Southaven drive, led directly to the first touchdown of the game scored by Southaven.
Columbus will work now first and 10 from its own 20 in the third possession of the ball game. This time it is a handoff around the right side, and that was Patrick Jackson on the carry. Good hard running on first down and picks up about 5 yards. It was misdirection, faked the handoff to Derek Jordan and then gave it to Patrick around the right end for a 5-yard pickup. So second down and 5 coming up. Jalen Craddock, the sophomore, has went at quarterback each of the last 2 games for Columbus, waiting for Stowers to return to the lineup. Second down and 5. This time Jackson is not going to get anything as Southaven stops that back behind the line of scrimmage for about a 2-yard loss. It will be interesting to see if the Falcons elect to go with any Wildcat formation tonight. They also did that against DeSoto Central when Stowers was hurt in the first quarter. But they went with Craddock the entire ball game each of the last 2 weeks, trying to get the sophomore some experience, some reps against 2 of the better defenses in the state. Certainly the Tupelo front 4 probably the best in 6A. A third and 7 play. This time Stowers throws it off his back foot. Intended receiver was Vance. It's incomplete. And Javoris was actually open past the first down markers. And certainly this is not a situation you want to see, Anthony, with the Columbus offense stuck in neutral here early in the ball game. Again, you would like to at least see some first downs and an opportunity to keep the defense off the field a little bit.
And so far here in the first quarter, Scott, the inside running plays just aren't working. The Southaven D-line right now plugging every hole, making things difficult.
Snap is high to Chris Taylor. He gets a good kickoff nonetheless. It bounces at the 40, and it's muffed by Southaven, and Columbus will get the recovery. I have no idea what that young man was doing.
He turned around.
Yeah. He was, well, it looked like it was going to hit the up back, who was not watching the play. It looked like it was going to bounce into him, but the intended returner, who saw the play coming at him, nonetheless missed the football, and Derek Jordan has the recovery for Columbus.
And Randall Montgomery talked about this. He said things just didn't go our way in the past couple of games. The lucky bounces weren't there. You have a lucky bounce, do something with it.
You do. Now, there may have been pepper on the ball and the returner sneezed. that could have.
That very well could have happened.
Could be a scenario there. First down and 10, Columbus. They will run it from the Southaven 28-yard line.
A huge moment right here. Early on, I know, but a huge moment in this ball game for the Falcons.
Snap is low, picked up off the ground by Stowers, and he overshoots Javorius Vance. And this is what we saw from Latarius in the third quarter against DeSoto Central. He got hurt in the first quarter, came back, tried to play in the third quarter, and was overthrowing everybody for a while. Then eventually got back into a rhythm. The pain subsided a little bit, and he was able to hit his targets on a consistent basis. So hopefully LT is simply working through the rust at this point in time, because the receivers have been open.
Receivers have been open, and just the timing so far has not been there.
Second down and 10 from the 28-yard line. This time Stowers keeps and will go down. Fake the handoff to Jordan and kept on what was going to be a quarterback run around the left side. And Southaven has seen that enough on film from the first couple of weeks of the season to get back there for a 6-yard loss.
Yeah, they came up in run support. They brought the safety Adams up, and he simply stayed at home as a quarterback spy and was right there. And now a big-time third and long facing Columbus after they were given the gift of a muffed punt by Southaven.
So third down and 16 coming up. That passes, the snap again is low.
Picked off.
And Stowers throws it, trying to throw a screen pass, and it hits the turf.
Oh, good. Okay. I thought it was picked.
Well, I mean, it hit the stomach of the defender, and he simply dropped it. It should have been intercepted.
4th down and 16 coming up from the 34-yard line.
Well, I mean, they are within Chris Taylor's range. I guess you're the coaching staff, and you want to try to take this gift as it gave to you.
Yeah, you're pretty much, field goal kick was going to be rather lengthy. And if you do turn it over here, you're turning it over at the 35-yard line. The snap to Stowers, he throws it in the flats, and the intended receiver, again, the pass is underthrown. It was for Kenneth Martin. And Southaven had a chance to intercept, but did the right thing by simply batting the ball down, because that's a gain of field position. So Southaven will take over 1st down and 10 from its own 34-yard line, leading 7-0 in the ball game.
And right now, we mentioned in the pregame, long road trip sometimes takes a while to get going. Right now, the Falcons look like they're just having a difficult time getting focused and getting their intensity level to where it needs to be.
1st down and 10 now from the 34-yard line. Back to pass. It's complete in the flats to number 7. He's taken down by Kenneth Martin and Devin King, but not before picking up about 7 yards on that play.
Maybe Southaven got new uniforms and forgot to change the numbers.
2nd down and 3. Again, pass is in the flats and forced out of bounds shy of the 1st down. That's not a very good spot.
That's the exact same play.
Yeah, it's going to be shy of the 1st down by a couple of yards.
Real quick, back to that 4th down play. I like the play call. You're in no man's land, so throw it deep, try to get at least a pass interference call, get the 1st down. Just good defense there by the Chargers.
3rd down and 2. That's not a very good spot there on that play. 3rd down and 2, short yardage situation.
Man.
Back to pass, wide open and not making the catch.
That was
Delvin Ray.
That was a gift.
Yes, he had found busted coverage in the Columbus secondary and was streaking toward the end zone, and unable to. Sometimes you go on the road and you don't pack your charger. Well, he went on the road and didn't pack his football.
But he was 10 yards rather behind the defense that clearly was expecting run and bit on the fake.
So a 4th down and shorts, and Southaven will line up in punt formation and fake this. I figured that was coming. And they'll go up the middle with it and pick up the 1st down. You could tell Columbus was certainly ready to defend the kick and not ready for the run.
And that's twice. I think after Tupelo sort of did that to him.
Cedric Owens on the carry. 1st down and 10, Southaven now from the 47-yard line.
And that was a well-designed fake. 4th and short. They needed 2. They got 3.
6:17 clock running in the 1st quarter here. 7-0 Southaven. And the Chargers with the ball at midfield. Here's the running play, and it is stopped for about a 3-yard gain.
To show you just what this game means to Southaven, going for a fake punt in their own territory in the 1st quarter of a game they're winning.
And the band is now seated. It took a little while.
Took them about 45 minutes to all get in there.
2nd down and 7 from midfield. Quarterback fakes, throws, and off the fingertips of his intended receiver in coverage for Columbus was Isaiah Karam and Devin King.
And Posey's
intended receiver was Delvin Ray.
Posey has had wide open receivers, but he's just been missing just high. And that ball was tipped, and if a Columbus player had been right there, it could have been a pick 6 because it was downfield, like wide open.
3rd down 7 from midfield. The Columbus defense again trying to get the stop, trying to get possession back for the offense. Here with the ball at midfield. Movement, no flags. Heavy pressure again on the quarterback. And again, Columbus almost comes up with the interception. Devin King will get one tonight. I'm feeling it. I don't think Jordan Randall will get a kick return because I don't think the kicks will get back to him. Preferably Southaven doesn't kick off again.
That was Dante Gillespie for the Falcons off the edge on the quarterback rush. That resulted in a short throw from Posey. Big stand right there by the Falcon defense.
So now, after the dress rehearsal, Southaven will attempt to punt again, and this time the kick goes high end over end, and Randall takes it on the bounce at the 11 and goes out of bounds around the 18, 19-yard line.
Yeah, perhaps ill-advised, but you said.
No, it's coming.
All year long, he's been telling us, I'm going to return a kick of some kind, and he's been very aggressive in that role this year.
In kindergarten, they say put the Play-Doh away, and that doesn't mean that Charlie isn't going to go in there and find it and play with it 5 more minutes before his mother picks him up. That's just how it works. You're fixing to go through all that. Get ready.
I am. We are. My wife and I are eagerly anticipating.
First down and 10, Columbus from its own 19-yard line. They need to start marching the band back down on the field for halftime. They may not get on there in time. First down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Falcons trying to find some type of offensive momentum, and this time it's a carry up the middle, about 5 yards. Good hard running, and that was Patrick Jackson on the carry. Patrick's kind of been the forgotten man for the most part, with Derek Jordan getting the bulk of the rushing carries this year for the Falcons. But certainly Patrick's had his opportunity tonight. 3 carries already here in the early going.
And that was the best run so far tonight for the Columbus offense.
Second down and 5 from the 24-yard line. Here is the handoff around the right side. Derek Jordan makes a man miss, pushes the power forward, and will be right at the first down sticks. And I believe they're going to give it to him. We'll see after they unstack everybody. Halftime, Jason Crowder will stop in and preview the Southeastern Conference for us. Mississippi State, of course, tomorrow morning at Davis Wade playing BYU. Ole Miss is in Oxford tomorrow taking on Vanderbilt. Alabama is playing Arkansas. There are other words for what they'll be doing to Arkansas, but we'll just, for now, go with playing.
Playing is the appropriate term.
And Jason will be previewing those games for you, and we will have that coming up here at halftime. The first down was given on the Derek Jordan carry, so that'll be a 5-yard pickup there as well. And Columbus will scrimmage first and 10 from its own 29-yard line. And this time it's Patrick Jackson, and he's not going to get much. The pile keeps pushing forward, but maybe a yard, perhaps 2 on the gain after they unstack everybody. It will be interesting to see. We have, of course, not seen the Mississippi State team since their back-to-back losses to Auburn and Georgia. Opportunity to get back home, play back-to-back home games. Kentucky next Saturday. And certainly a team worthy of a bowl game this year. Certainly a team with a high talent level. And hopefully they'll get back tomorrow and play in front of the home fans and be energized and can put a positive spin back on things. Second down at 8 after a 2-yard pickup. Stowers throws in the flats, and this time Kenneth Martin simply can't come up with the catch.
That was classic getting ready to go upfield before securing the catch syndrome to bring up 3rd and long.
So third down and 8, the Columbus offense still without a first down, I believe. Well, just the one here in this possession. They did not have one coming into this possession, but did pick one up, back-to-back 5-yard gains here. Both teams with 1 turnover in the ball game. Southaven with the only points. They're leading 7-0. 3rd and long, heavy pressure, and Stowers will go down. And that was really with a 2-man rush.
It really was. It was sort of like a stunt move, and no one picked up the guy coming over.
It will be interesting to see. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know how much practice time. I know as of Tuesday, Stowers has still not been cleared. They thought he would be, but had not been. So I don't know how many reps he got in practice. I don't know how many days he dressed out and all that kind of stuff. Columbus, of course, out of school as well earlier in the week due to the holiday. So questions we don't have answers for, but certainly an offense that's been out of rhythm so far. Punt caught at the 45 and up to midfield, and that's where that play will end. And that's going to go officially a 34-yard punt for Chris Taylor. And Southaven will take over again in Columbus territory with 2 minutes 46 seconds to go in the first quarter of play, with Southaven still leading the football game by a score of 7-0. 1st and 10 from the 49. It's been a mixed bag. The Columbus defense has had an opportunity at some picks, And the Southaven, of course, has the only points in the game, but certainly they've had some plays that they've missed as well.
They have been the beneficiaries now 3 of their first 4 drives beginning in Columbus territory, including this one.
Snap back, quarterback throws in the flats, and simply it's a pitch and catch situation. If this was baseball, their fielding percentage would be about 750 right now.
Zacharias Towns, the running back, simple swing pass to the halfback, and Posey threw it about 2 yards too far in front of Towns.
So second down and 10 coming up.
I caught your baseball reference, by the way. Yes.
That's what we're here for. That's the game where they say don't play salt or pepper, behind home plate. The quarterback draw this time goes nowhere, and taking him down is Josh Gray, one of the senior captains on the Columbus defense. He always competes, plays hard, and Josh gets back down there for his second tackle for loss tonight. And certainly Columbus has had the better of the line of scrimmage tonight.
I was going to say both teams' defensive lines right now beating up on the opposing offensive line.
So third down and 14, clock running. We're at 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Snap to the quarterback is high. It's a handoff. The running back is going to be stopped for no gain at all. A lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle, and certainly what you don't want to do when you've already got the third down stop here is be called for a personal foul. But the officials get in there and clean everything up and stop the play in time, and that was Amani Hunt again. Hurt. It is hurt, right?
It is hurt, yes. Hurt. The junior 5'7" running back.
So 1 yard gain on that play. And Southaven will again line up here and attempt to punt the football away. On a fourth down and 13, snap is extremely high with the punter's head, and he's going to go back and fumble it himself again. And Columbus is going to get, Southaven will get on the football, but Columbus will take over on fourth down. Another huge break. Huge break. Gabriel Wilson got back there and got on the recovery for Southaven.
And Scott, that's going to be a loss of exactly 40 yards.
They're going to spot the football where on the...
Maybe 50 yards. It's going to be all the way at the Southaven 7-yard line.
Spot the ball at the 7-yard line.
That is insane.
It is.
Special teams miscues have plagued Southaven. Now can the Falcons cash in on a golden opportunity?
So with 1:16 to go in the first quarter, Columbus will run it first and go from the 7-yard line. And I simply need to keep it on the ground here and try to push it in. But on first down, Derek Jordan is stopped behind the line of scrimmage for about a 2-yard loss.
The Chargers defense is ready for the running attack. They clearly have worked on this in practice. And we talked about it early, Scott. The Southaven defense certainly good enough to give the Falcons some fits, and they are doing that here in the first quarter.
Well, again, and you have no passing threat right now. And until you complete some balls and put that threat into your playbook, this is going to continue. The second down pass play is knocked away in the end zone. It was intended for Voice Vance, and it was knocked away by the Southaven defender.
And it seems that Southaven, I want to call them Minnesota Central, but I know they're not. It seems that Southaven, they're playing man on. They're playing without a safety.
Right.
And so the middle of the field is wide open. Now they're putting a safety back, but they're blitzing every time.
Cedric Adams had the fumble recovery earlier. He had the pass deflection there. The third down play this time goes to the end zone. A lot of pushing and shoving. And Kenneth Martin with the catch. Touchdown Falcons. He appeared to be out of bounds, but apparently the officials, of course, much closer to the play than we are. They signaled that Kenneth was in bounds. Both teams shoved. There was shoving coming and going. But Latarius' 9th touchdown pass of the year, and the Falcons are on the board.
Scott, that was a circus catch.
That was.
I'm not sure how Martin came down with that ball, honestly.
So officially 10 yards on the touchdown pass. Chris Taylor will be on to attempt the extra point. Snap's horrible. Kicks up, though, and it is good. Chris has overcome that. And it's like going to Waffle House. IHOP rather, and they don't have grits, but they offer you toast. Sometimes you just have to overcome things.
Sometimes you have to overcome the hurdles placed in front of you and avoid lots of pepper.
33 seconds to go first quarter. We're tied at 7. The Columbus kickoff after this. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
MSU iPrint provides network access to your authorized printers. This service allows you to send documents to on-campus printers from anywhere that has internet access. Especially for students, color and black and white laser printers are available via iPrint in the open computer labs for a nominal per-page fee. Go to iprint.its.msstate.edu for download and installation instructions.
Kenneth Martin's 10-yard touchdown reception, 33.7 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. We're tied at 7, and Chris Taylor will kick the football off from the 40-yard line. High end-over-end kick. Southaven's going to let it bounce. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And Anthony, somehow or another, we're tied at 7 right now.
What a fantastic answer for Columbus. They were given a gift on the bad snap over the punter's head. They took over first and goal at the Southaven 7-yard line, 3rd and long after 2 bad plays on 1st and 2nd down. And Kenneth Martin, with a guy draped all over him, somehow makes a one-handed catch in the far left back corner of the end zone. And yeah, after all the issues the Falcons have had offensively in this first quarter, here we go, 30 seconds left in the quarter, and we're tied at 7.
We will have final scores from around the state before our first quarter ends. First down and 10 from its own 20-yard line. Southaven will run it on first down. That is again Hurt with the carry, and he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Another tackle for loss for the Falcons, and that was Montrez Williams that gets in and makes that stop. And that will mercifully be the final play of the first quarter. Southaven's going to let it run out. They're going to debate it. They may 9 seconds clock running.
They're setting up for it.
They're thinking about it.
Let's do it. One more play. Come on.
Second down and 11. And they do get it off. Here's the snap. Quarterback throws. It is intercepted by Devin King on a nice circus catch. As predicted,
Devin King tipped it to himself and somehow comes down with the interception, and all the momentum right now on the side of Columbus. What a fantastic pick. Man-on-man coverage on a long pass play. King gets there, deflects it, tips it, and makes a diving catch. And Columbus has the ball when we begin the start of quarter number 2.
That is the end of 1. We're tied at 7. This is Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSD.
MSU's Student Relief Fund is designed to help members of the student body affected by day-to-day crises or catastrophic disasters, such as the recent hurricanes. If you would like to donate to the MSU Student Relief Fund, donations and more information can be found at www.msufoundation.com/studentrelief.
Alrighty, we get set to go with the second quarter of play here at Southaven. And I can't remember which color I'm doing the Falcons in tonight. Red. Falcons are in red.
I cannot believe that he made that catch. That was the most athletic grab I've seen all year.
Yeah, excellent offensive catch by Kenneth Martin. Excellent defensive catch by Devin King.
And Southaven, they could have let the clock run out on the first quarter. Instead, they get one more play in, and they throw the interception. It was a good play call, though. Initially, the wide receiver was open. The ball hung up there about a second too long, and King was able to catch up and make a fantastic individual effort to deflect the pass and then make a diving interception off his own deflection.
So first down and 10 Columbus. They'll go from its own 44-yard line here to first play of the second quarter. Snap is low. Stowers gets it, goes around the left side with it, and he's going to be taken down right up the line of scrimmage. And the Falcons are having a difficult time again blocking the running game, getting blocks from their tackles to spring the running game and get it in gear.
And that was Cedric Adams, who's now made a couple of nice open field tackles for Southaven on that last stop.
West Point leading Olive Branch 21-0 tonight in the 8 minutes to go in the half at Hamblin Stadium. 11:27 clock running here, 7 all. Stowers back to throw, passes, skips, and it's intended for Javorius Vance, who had an opening there.
Yeah, the quick slant was open, but Stowers, and this is to be expected, 2 weeks off, a throwing shoulder injury. Those quick slant passes have been short this entire first half.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up. Falcons, after the interception, trying to do something with the turnover there. Second turnover of the night, and then the whistle stoppage of play, and I believe Columbus.
Yeah, the Falcons.
False start on Columbus. The Falcons with a fumble recovery tonight, interception tonight, and then the turnover on downs when the snap went over the Southaven punter's head.
Well, if you look back at Southaven, it was that first punt where they sort of got rattled, and then one after that, they did it again. And then it just seems like when one thing's happened, it does affect your team. And we see Columbus, after those 2 plays, their defense gets more into it.
All 3 penalties tonight have been on the Falcons. Stowers back to throw on 3rd and long. This pass is on the money, and it is complete up to about the 49, 50-yard line. I got lost in the humanity. Who caught that? Vance?
I believe it was Vance. We're waiting for the pile to...
It was Javorius. Okay, out to the 49-yard line.
So a 10-yard gain.
So that'll bring up 4th down and 5. And finally, we saw Latarius throw it on the money.
And he had 3 orange jerseys right in his face. Did a good job to simply get that ball away and hit his open man in stride. But 3rd and 15...
Yeah, needed it to have been 3rd and 10, and then you'd have been in business there. But the false start pushed the Falcons back. Chris Taylor will stand on his own 37, and we'll have another stoppage of play. Play clock expired, I guess. Yes, delay game coming up on the Falcons. That'll be a 5-yard mark off, so it'll be a 4th down and 10. And certainly Columbus has been its own worst enemy so far in this one with every penalty tonight that's been called so far.
And the layup game on a punt, the layup game on an extra point, those are the kind of things that really irk a coaching staff.
So Chris Taylor will now stand on his 32 and punt the football away. It is an excellent kick. And it is going to bounce at the 20, roll to the 15, maybe. It hit at the 16-yard line. Devin King downs it there. There was not much roll to it once it hit. And that will go officially as a 40-yard kick for Chris. And again, Columbus has now flipped field position. And certainly Southaven's offense has been struggling after the initial touchdown of the ball game. And you like to see the Falcon defense pin its ears back and just apply the pressure here with Southaven starting on its own 16.
And obviously the worst starting field position for any of Southaven's drives in this first half.
So 1st down and 10 coming up now from the 17 officially. And the pass is in the flats, and it's caught by our friend number 7, who is taken down for basically no gain. Montrez Williams again in the backfield. And the Falcons are shutting the passes in the flats, for the most part, have been shut down rather quickly tonight. So that will be a 3-yard loss officially. So 2nd down and 13 coming up from the 13.
Let's call him 7. We'll just call him 7 the rest of the ball game.
Okay, I'm good with that. And Southaven, Columbus defense trying to get a good stop here on 2nd and long. Here is the handoff, and it's not going to go for much of anything. The initial tackle is broken, and then Isaiah Caron and Devin King get in on hurt again. And you are just minutes away from what could be the most exciting moment of tonight, and that is Southaven punting out of its own end zone.
Listen, it has been an adventure. Whether Southaven is punting or receiving punts, it has been anxious moments for Southaven and opportunistic moments for Columbus here in this first half.
So 3rd down and 11 from the 15-yard line.
The Falcon defense again has stood tall the last couple of drives.
The Falcons again trying to get another stop. Quarterback back to pass, heavy pressure again by Jalen Hickman, and the pass is complete. Did they rule that complete?
They said out. One guy threw out.
Yes, one signal inbounds, one signal out of bounds, and they give him the catch, but it will be short. No, it will be 1st down yardage.
That is remarkable. It's hard for us to tell along the far sideline as Southaven moves offensively from left to right. But from here, it looked like he was right on the boundary.
So a 15-yard pickup, and that will spot the ball first down and 10 from the 30-yard line.
That's a huge conversion.
Yes, no complaint from the Columbus coaching staff. This time the pass is in the flats and overthrows the intended receiver.
A nice play call, too, on 3rd and long to roll out Posey to the weak side, to the short side of the field. And the pressure was coming from the strong side, so he had plenty of time to throw it and found his man in man coverage open on the curl route along the far sideline. Nicely done to give Southaven a new set of downs in this tie ball game.
2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line. And this time the pass is over the middle, intended for someone at incomplete. Heavy pressure again. I think the quarterback was simply throwing that to get it away before he was sacked by Josh Gray.
Josh Gray's been flying all over the defense.
Devin King was in that area looking for that interception. The homecoming court is standing down around the 10-yard line getting ready to do their thing. Look at the white dress. That's
a big dress.
It is a big dress. Good money was paid for that dress. Either bought it or rented it for the festivities that are upcoming. 3rd down and 10. Falcons again with heavy pressure. Passes over the middle and the pass is complete. Breaking 2 tackles to midfield. 40. Fumble. It's a loose football, and the Chargers get back on top of it. And Kenneth Martin and Devin King both in coverage. Have no idea how Southaven was able to make the recovery. Kenneth came up and got the strip, but the receiver on the play was Cedric Owens, and he made the catch. The Falcons had that initially contained for what would not have been a first down, but then once Cedric broke a tackle there, basically at the line of scrimmage, he was off for a long gain of about 56 yards officially. So 1st down and 10 from the 14. Back to pass this time as the quarterback throws over the middle, and it is caught for the touchdown. Boy, that was a quick strike. And the Southaven Chargers have taken the lead in the football game again.
I couldn't tell who it was. It looked like it may have been Owens again.
It was.
On the reception. Clearly, Southaven found a matchup that they liked, and they went back to Owens. They actually went to him 4 or 5 times on that drive, and he makes 2 fantastic grabs and runs after the catch to get Southaven back on top as the PAT is up and good. 14-7, Southaven on top. 7:57 to go first half.
The Chargers take it and go 84 yards in 7 plays to take the lead. We'll have the Southaven kickoff after this timeout. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSB.
Imagine a car designed to travel 100 miles on a single gallon of gas. Engineered to lead the way in energy independence. It will inspire you to rethink how cars actually work. Imagine the car of the future. We are at Mississippi State University, where we ring true.
The Chargers go 84 yards, and they do it on 7 plays to take a 14-7 lead with 7 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And they did almost all of that through the air.
Yeah, it was a 2 different 3rd and 10s that the Columbus defense was faced with, and then unable to make either stop. And Columbus's defense has been good this year in 3rd and long yardage situations, but they were not on this particular possession. It's a sky kick, and it goes almost out of bounds, but Southaven's going to be given the recovery. And again, Columbus caught napping on the kicking game, and the Chargers will take the football over on the Falcon 35-yard line.
Scott, and the Falcons had a couple of guys over there. You mentioned there was a pooch kick, and one of those pooch kicks designed to be recovered by the kicking team if the return team does not get to it in a hurry. And the Falcons, who could have gotten there, It looked as if they thought it may go out of bounds or would go out of bounds, got out of the way, and then it bounced and stayed inbounds, and Southaven alertly gets on it, and they have taken over again, 1st and 10 inside Columbus territory.
Ball at the Columbus 35-yard line, and this time the pass is in the flats and incomplete. Overthrew 7 on that play.
But 7's been a busy man tonight.
He has. Jordan Randall took him down after the play, and I was afraid they were going to give it a late hit because that ball had already cleared the playing field when Jordan made that tackle.
He just wanted them to know who was boss.
He was.
Tony Danza, right?
Yeah.
2nd down and 10. Southaven now from the Columbus 35-yard line. Snap is high. Quarterback does have it back though, and he throws, and we're going to have the. Okay.
Well, they could have called pass interference,
Yeah,
yes.
that was pass interference all day long. But anyway,
They did not call it.
no, the Columbus defender playing the receiver rather instead of the ball, does not turn around, does interfere. Pass was catchable. Columbus catches a break, and we will have a 3rd down and 10 scenario.
The Columbus defense has to stand tall here. Can't fall down by 2 scores early on.
We have a whistle, stoppage of play, and I believe we're going to have a false start, first penalty of the night on Southaven, and that is exactly what we have. So that will set up a 3rd down and 15 from the 40-yard line.
The Falcon defense certainly an opportunity here. 3rd and long. Southaven has almost 100% abandoned the run game here in this 2nd quarter.
Well, they have -7 yards in it, so it's not working for them at all.
At halftime, West Point leads Olive Branch 27-0. At halftime, Oxford leads Horn Lake tonight 7-0. Pass on 3rd and long is complete, and all the way down to the 25-yard line, going to be right at the line to gain. They're going to spot him. They're going to give it to him.
It looks as if they have signaled
Yeah, they have.
1st down, a halfback screen over the middle. A nice play call and nice execution. Southaven has been money on 3rd and long on the last 2 drives.
3rd and long, they have completed 3 straight of those. And it's now a new set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Quarterback is back to throw.
Oh, man.
He has a wide open receiver in the end zone, and it goes for the touchdown.
And there's right now tons of confusion in the Falcon secondary.
What happened there? Do you remember this passes where 7 kept getting the ball? Well, what they did was they switched him and they ran the same play where it looked like he was on a screen, and the Columbus player bit on it and he just went up.
Southaven right now offensively calling a very good game. And they have now taken a 2-touchdown lead with under 8 to go in the 1st half.
So the Chargers only have to drive 35 yards on that play due to the recovery of the sky kick. Extra points up and good. 7:10 to go, 2nd quarter. And Southaven leads the football game 21-7. We'll have their kickoff after this. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSD. All righty, 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter of play. The Southaven Chargers playing tonight. We've been up here on some difficult nights, and I have to credit the Southaven community tonight for turning out. This is an outstanding crowd for homecoming.
A very good crowd, and so far they've been entertained thoroughly. Their team up 21-7 with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left. Back-to-back scoring drives for Southaven without Columbus ever touching the football.
Starkville leads Madison Central 7-6 at the half. Tupelo leading South Panola 14-10 at the half. This time the kickoff will go out of bounds.
And now if you're Columbus, you have to score because you know that Southaven's going to get the ball after halftime.
Caught on a fair catch.
Yeah, fair catch on the pooch kick.
I got you. Caught on a fair catch, and the ball will be spotted at the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10, Columbus from its own 29. And the Falcons certainly need some type of positive thing to happen offensively. Need to generate some momentum. And again, if you don't score, at least put a couple of first downs together and give your defense opportunity to stay off the field for a little while. 1st down and 10 from the 29. Stowers, it's a handoff, and the Falcons cannot get the running game going tonight. Derek Jordan stopped at the line of scrimmage after probably about a 1-yard loss.
Well, you wonder what the Falcon offense can do now. We saw Southaven's run game not work. They made some adjustments. Now, what can the Falcons do knowing that Stowers is not 100% with that throwing shoulder?
Yeah, and certainly, but he was throwing the football better on the last possession, and that's something you can take solace in. He was hitting his receivers on a little more consistent basis. 2nd down and 11 coming up. Stowers is back to throw here, and the pass is in the flats, and it's complete. And again, that throw is on the money. It's short of the 1st down, but it's a nice pickup to A.J. Johnson. And it will set up a 3rd down and short, 3rd down and about 3. But again, it's a situation where you really have no confidence in the Columbus run game being able to convert a 3rd and short yardage situation. So Stowers is back to throw again, but this time it is a handoff. Derek Jordan goes around the right side, and he is stopped for no gain again, and Columbus will have to punt the football.
And at some point, with Aaron Montgomery, you have to realize it's just not working.
Well, again, though, you're hitting passes, and so you would, now that you're beginning to complete some passes, you would think that would make Southaven have to honor the pass a little bit more.
And sometimes they are, and their front four is just doing a really good job getting penetration.
4th down and 3. Chris Taylor will be on to punt the football away. Southaven gets back, almost gets the block, but the kick is away. And it is going to bounce out of bounds around the 30-yard line. They're going to spot it officially at the 32-yard line. So again, a 32-yard kick. And Southaven will take over 1st and 10. They are going to spot it at the 30. That's what I thought
it is
originally, and then I talked myself out of it.
The 30-yard line on the far hash as Southaven now goes from left to right. Back-to-back scoring drive. Southaven attempting now to take complete control of the game in the first half. The Falcon defense has to get a stop here with 5:20 to go in the first half.
1st down and 10 from its own 29-yard line officially for the Chargers. Quarterback back to throw. Pass is complete in the flats, and this time Columbus does bottle him up, but after a short game. Columbus had blown that play up for no gain at all the last couple of times, but this time it goes for about a 3-yard pickup.
Is that number 7?
Yes.
So the leading receiver of the ball game, over a guy with no name.
Owens, he had a 56-yard pass.
Very true. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. He did go out of bounds, so the clock stopped with 5 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter of play. West Point now leading 34-0 over the Conquistadors tonight. The 2nd down running play is a handoff to Hurt, and it goes for a loss of 2 yards. Jalen Hickman in to wrap him up. And again, a lot of pushing and shoving after the play. And certainly if you're Columbus, you're already behind the 8 ball down 2 touchdowns. You certainly do not want a drive extending personal foul call when you can avoid it. So we'll see if officials can continue to keep some control down there like this. 3rd down and 9 coming up for Southaven. Back to pass is complete. And again, the Falcons sold out on that play, trying to pressure the quarterback in the backfield. And certainly on the run, he delivers about a 15-yard pass play to number 7. And that's a 1st down pickup. And the Chargers again are on the move. 1st down and 10 from its own 45-yard line.
And Posey has looked good throwing the ball in this first half.
So 1st down and 10, Southaven from the 45-yard line. This time it's a handoff to Hurt, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage by Isaiah Karam and Josh Gray again in on the stop.
The defense, no issues in plugging those running lanes, but the secondary tonight has been burnt on a couple of big plays. They find themselves down by a couple of scores. The first half beginning to wind down.
Second down and 10 from the 45. Again, it's a good pass play over the middle. The receiver is open, makes the catch at the 30, all the way down to the 10-yard line. And that was Micah Chillers on the catch. And that will go for 45 yards on the pickup.
And right now, the Columbus corners just simply cannot stay with the Southaven wideouts as they go down the field. They got a couple of big, fast wide receivers, physical dudes, and Columbus right now has no answer.
Timeout is going to be called by Southaven. First down and 10. Columbus wanted one as well, but Southaven got it called first. First down and 10 from the 11.
Clock's still running.
No, they're putting 1 minute up there on the timeouts.
All right.
So there's timeout on the field. First and 10, Southaven when we come back from the 11-yard line, already leading the ball game 21-7. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
Anthony's Good Food Market of West Point, Mississippi, proud supporter of the Juke on WMSV, features some of the South's finest Cajun and Delta-inspired cuisine like barbecue shrimp, hand-cut blackened ribeyes, and gumbo. Plus, for live music fans, every Wednesday night, it's the Midweek Mojo, featuring musical performances from 7 until 10. Anthony's, established in 1936, is a brown bag establishment, so feel free to bring your own bottle of wine or spirits to enjoy with your meal. Anthony's Good Food Market, located at 116 Main Street in West Point, Mississippi. Reservations are recommended on weekends, 494-0316. Anthony's, now on Facebook and online, anthonysgoodfoodmarket.com.
The first down pass play is underthrown, almost intercepted by Devin King. And that will bring up a second down and 10 from the 11-yard line.
And that was good man coverage that time by King. As the Falcons continue to stay in that man coverage in the secondary.
Southaven already leading the football game 21-7. Now certainly the Falcons in a position where they really can't give up any more points here before the end of the first half. Second down and 10. Pressure on the quarterback. They get back to him. And Devin King with the pass break up again in the end zone. Isaiah Carroll was back applying heavy pressure to the quarterback.
Yeah, the pressure that time almost created the second Falcon interception tonight.
Right. That'll bring up a third down and 10 from the 11-yard line. And the Falcons here facing a critical stop. Southaven, it will be interesting to see if they elect to go for it on fourth down or try the field goal. Field goal unit looked shaky in warm-ups, but certainly a kick of about 28 yards you would think would be something that they would at least try. So third down and 10, snap is high, heavy pressure, and the quarterback rolls out and throws it back of the end zone, passes out of the end zone. The receiver did catch it, but is ruled out of the back of the end zone. And so that will bring up a fourth down and 10.
And the Falcons catch a break right there because on the rollout to the right side, the wideout had gotten loose in the back of the end zone, and Hosey led him about a half a yard too far. And it looks like we're going to have our first field goal attempt tonight, and it will be about a 28-yarder.
So the Chargers will attempt the field goal from 28 yards out. Snap is high, it's down though, and the kick is on its way, and it is good. It curled in there. I didn't think it got in there, but it did. Right above the left upright. Field goal attempt is good from 28 yards out. Chargers take a 24-7 lead. 3:03 to go in the half. Timeout now. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I liked kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm turning the kayak.
Can we walk home?
How about a taxi?
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
3 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the first half. Southaven with a 28-yard field goal. The Chargers moved the football on that particular possession 60 yards on 9 plays. And after a 7-all tie late in the first quarter, Southaven has scored 17 straight points to take a 24-7 lead in the ballgame.
17 straight points, and in that time span, the Falcons have only run 3 offensive plays.
Here is the kick, and it will be taken by Jordan Randall at the 1-yard line up to the 10, around the right side to the 20, has a block to the 30, 40, and taken down off of his feet at the 41-yard line. So a good kick return by Jordan, who just took it at the base of the end zone. Of course, it's a touchback in high school once it breaks the plane, but Jordan took it around the 1-2 yard line.
There was a flag that came in late.
There is a flag down, and we'll have to see. Falcons most likely guilty of a block. The ball at the moment is at the 39. We'll have to see where they spot it after the infraction.
A nice return, regardless of what happens here with the penalty.
Oxford will be the opponent next Friday night at Falcon Field, senior night, final home game of the season. We hope you are making plans to be with us for the last home game of the season. Hard to believe we're at that point. Columbus only with 4 home games this season. That will flip next season, and it'll be a scenario in which they play 7 of the 11 at home next season, but this year 4 home games, and the final of those 4 will be next Friday night. We hope everybody can come out, and it is a small senior class, but certainly Columbus back-to-back playoff appearances, 14 wins in the last 2 seasons combined before this one. And Josh Gray, Devin King, and the rest of the seniors have been a major back. Kenneth Martin, Patrick Jackson, been major components here in helping to build the program. Coach Randall Montgomery extremely pleased. Columbus Middle School finishing an undefeated regular season. A lot of depth in the smaller classes, a lot of talent coming up. And this is a team that is young and has competed well on most Friday nights, but certainly the margin for error is small, and you simply can't have injuries, and you simply can't be behind the 8 ball the way this unit has been this year. There are offsetting penalties, so we will re-kick the kickoff.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Columbus did block in the back. Southaven was also, I believe, offsides was the signal. So we will have a re-kick. Jordan will get another shot at this. And with 2:51 to go in the second quarter of play, Southaven will again kick off, leading the ball game 24-7. But either way, Oxford next Friday night for the final home game, and then we'll be back on the road for the final 2 Fridays against South Panola and Hernando. And of course, if the Falcons are able to achieve a playoff berth, it will be a first-round road playoff game on November 10th, and we'll certainly have that broadcast from most likely either Starkville or Madison Central. Most likely those will be the top 2 teams in Region 2. But for now, need to turn this thing around and try to get some offensive momentum to carry into the locker room. Jordan Randall will be back again to field this kickoff. The ball is in readiness. And here is the kick, and they're going to scrib it this time after seeing that long return. And the Falcons, Jalen Hickman hops on the football around the 33-yard line, and that's where Columbus will take over on offense, first down and 10 from its own 33.
And he had to hop on it quick because Southaven was, no pun intended, charging right towards that football. They've already recovered one of those tonight, and they almost had a second one.
So first down and 10 for Columbus from its own 33-yard line. The Falcons have struggled to run the football with consistency tonight, but now that you're down 3 scores, you would think less will be seen of the running game, but still plenty of time in the football game to put some things together. On first down, it's a bad snap, and Stowers will simply have to take it and take the loss. and that'll be about an 8-yard loss on first down, and that will set up what will be a passing play here on second down at 18.
Yeah, the timing was all messed up on that one from the get-go. So Stowers couldn't do anything.
Second down at 18 from the 25-yard line. Clock running, 2:24 to go in the second quarter of play. Stowers is back to throw. He's hit as he throws, and the pass is tip drill intercepted by Southaven. Good head of steam, 40-yard line, 30-yard line, 20, 10, all the way. Did he get into the end zone?
They are saying touchdown.
He did. So it is an interception return touchdown by 23, Trey Perkins. And he takes it all the way back, about 45 yards officially on the return. And Southaven gets a critical score here right before the half, 2:07 to go in the half. And the Chargers have extended the lead.
And this has been, in the second quarter, Scott and Jackson, complete domination. Southaven on that play simply had the defense sagging back in deep zone coverage. Columbus had a man open. Stowers, though, under pressure, overthrew the intended receiver and right into the arms of Perkins, who then followed a convoy all the way into the end zone for a back-breaking pick six.
The snap is high, but the kick is on its way and good. Timeout on the field, 2:07 to go first half, 31-7 Southaven. Now this timeout, Columbus Falcons football on 91.1 WMSV. Alrighty, 2 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the first half of play. It was 17 unanswered. Now it's 24 unanswered.
24 points in a span of 10 minutes for Southaven. Very impressive stuff, and they are now in complete control on top, 31-7 over the Falcons.
The Columbus offense will take back over here after this kickoff with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the second quarter of play. Here is the kick. It's a sky kick. Fair catch signal for and taken by Jordan at the 33-yard line, and that's where the Falcons will start first down and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
Well, 2:07 to go, and Southaven has the option to receive the opening kickoff of the third quarter. So some points right here would be very important for the Falcons.
First down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Stowers back to throw. Has plenty of time. Kenneth Martin is the intended receiver, and he makes the catch at the 37-yard line. It is a 50-50 ball. He was tied up with the receiver, and comes down with the catch.
Yeah, Caleb Griffin was the man in coverage, and Martin just simply wrestled the ball away from him for a fantastic reception to give the Columbus Falcons first and 10.
30 yards on the pass play, first down and 10 now from the Southaven 37. Stowers is back to throw again off of his back foot with heavy pressure, and he is taken down hard after that play. The pass goes incomplete. He simply threw it to fight to live another down, and then barely fought to live the next down, and he does get back up under his own power and gets back to the huddle. Second down and 10 now from the 38-yard line.
Yeah, the Chargers defense, that front four is getting all kinds of pressure on Stowers, and they have so far all night long.
We have a stoppage of play here.
Yeah, this could go either way.
offsides on the defense, so a 5-yard pickup there.
Yeah, they had a blitzing linebacker come off the edge. Looked like it was number 3, Reed, the outside linebacker / rush defensive end, who came on a blitz and took one step too far and got into that neutral zone.
So 2nd down and 5 now from the 32-yard line. And Falcons trying to get a score here before the half. Stowers back to throw. Throws it over the middle. Pass is not caught by Javorius Vance. He was defended well, but at the same time had an inside step. And the ball was thrown on time.
I think he even had a hand on the ball.
Yeah, Javorius just simply couldn't come up with the catch. That will bring up a 3rd down and 5.
That was one of the better throws tonight from Stowers.
So now the Falcons looking at least to try to pick up the 1st down with 2 downs to work to do that. 3rd down and 5. Again, we have a stoppage of play, whistles. And this is going to be offsides on the defense. So they're going to get 5 more yards.
We'll take it.
I like how the fact that the official still signaled incomplete on the pass when it was basically no play.
When the play never happened officially.
Just kind of getting some practice in, I guess.
Well, 1:41 to go. Plenty of time here to get a ball into the end zone if the Falcons can keep moving the ball forward.
And Columbus with all 3 timeouts to work with, but you would like to score here. Bad snap on 1st down, and Stowers will simply have to eat the football. And he's taken down back at the 41-yard line, so that'll be a 14-yard loss.
And that's the kind of mistake that can kill a drive. As Stowers, as you said, low snap, and then Stowers himself bobbled it a couple of times and gets sacked all the way back at the Southaven 40.
The ball will be spotted at the 40. 2nd down and 22 coming up. 1:09 clock running here to go in the 1st half. Kind of surprised Columbus did not take a first time out there to settle everybody down.
And here comes the blitz again.
Here's the pass. Stowers back to throw. He again threw the football quickly to avoid the heavy pressure, but Vance was open down around the 15-yard line. So that will bring up 3rd down and 22. Clock stopped with 55.2 seconds to go in the half.
Middle linebacker Jalen Posey came through on the blitz, and right now Southaven blitzing the linebackers almost every play.
Which leaves the middle open, and Columbus doesn't play with a tight end usually, so it's sort of like you can't really access the middle of the field as fast as you want to.
3rd and long. This time Stowers is hit as he throws the football. It skips in front of his intended receiver, which was again Vance, and that will bring up a 4th down and long. And the Falcons will keep the offense on the field and go for this. A 4th down and 22 with 51.3 seconds to go in the half. Columbus still with all 3 timeouts. Southaven has 2 of theirs. The Chargers have scored 24 straight in the ball game. It was a 7-all game when we entered this 2nd quarter. And Southaven now leads the ball game 31-7. Stowers back to throw. Pass over the middle, complete to Patrick Jackson. And he's taken down at the 21-yard line. And so that's going to be short of the 1st down. So the ball will go over on downs. But Patrick made the catch for about a 20-yard pickup.
And a good catch, and any other down and distance would have been a successful play. But on 4th and 22, you're right, Scott, that just simply means it's a long pass that ends up essentially acting like a punt and sends the Southaven offense back out there. Now all of a sudden they have been unstoppable in the 2nd quarter. Now they have 2 timeouts and almost a full minute left on the clock.
1st down and 10 from the 22-yard line officially. Here is the snap. It's a handoff to Hurt, who breaks 2 tackles and breaks a 3rd, and is finally taken down by Jordan Randall, but not until he gets out to around the 45-yard line. And that's what Southaven was trying to do. Since Columbus had all 3 timeouts, you were in a position where Columbus might use those if you were stopped on 3 straight plays. And so I don't think Southaven had any realistic chance or plan to score here. They simply wanted to run the football and try to get a 1st down. And we'll see, though, now with 39.9 seconds to go in the half, if they will continue to attack aggressively and perhaps throw the football again. This time it is a handoff. It is to Hurt, who breaks 2 tackles, hurdles a man, and is taken down at the 47-yard line. So that is about a 5-yard pickup there, and the clock continues to run.
And once again, Jordan Randall on the stop. And you're right, Southaven will get the ball to begin the third quarter, so no reason to rush your 2-minute offense here if you're going to have the ball back anyway.
Yeah, they're going to run this thing to the half. They may play one more play. They are going to snap it one more time. And Southaven, this will be the final play of the half. And it's heavy pressure, and it's a sack. And it's Josh Gray putting an exclamation point on the first half for the Columbus defense. So that is a loss of about 10 yards on that play. And that runs us out to the half. Halftime at Southaven. And the homestanding Chargers are celebrating homecoming tonight with a 31-7 lead over Columbus here at the half. Southaven 31, Columbus 7. We will have our halftime report after this. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
The sense of place. We all have it. Often grown from deep roots in small-town communities. At Mississippi State University, these ties. With nearly 40 years of making a difference, we're revitalizing communities into welcoming places to work, live, and congregate. By weaving together the best pieces of our past with modern technology and amenities, we're creating the hometowns of the future. Places where lifetime memories can be made, where you have all the things you need, along with all the things you want. Through partnerships with our communities, we're identifying improvement opportunities, recommending paths forward, and creating the plans for a better tomorrow.
We're back at Southaven at halftime, and the Southaven Chargers on homecoming night lead Columbus by a score of 31-7. A 7-all ball game at the end of one quarter of play. Chargers scored 24 times in the second quarter, 24 points rather, and open what is a 31-7 lead here at the half. And Southaven will also have the ball first to start the third quarter of play. The SEC kicks off another big Saturday of play tomorrow, and our friend Jason Crowder now has this week's Southeastern Conference preview here at halftime.
This is an SEC update, an inside look at Southeastern Conference football. Hello, everybody. God bless you, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Crowder, your host. Last Saturday in SEC ball, it was Danny Etling who threw a short touchdown pass in the second half, and LSU rebounded from a stunning home loss with a 17-16 victory at number 21 Florida Saturday afternoon. The Tigers moved the ball well early with jet sweeps and then pounded it between the tackles late, doing just enough to upend the Gators. Head coach Ed Orgeron spoke on the win following the game.
Proud of our football team, proud of our coaching staff, proud of the leadership this week. As you all know, it was a tough week. Guys were resilient, blocked out the noise, they believed in each other, we went back to work. Our coaching staff did a tremendous job of coming up with an outstanding game plan. We got back to playing Tiger football. Our defense was resilient. We came up with the plays where we need to be. We were physical at the point of attack, and for that, I'm most proud of our football team. This was a complete team win.
In Nashville, Tennessee, Nick Chubb ran for 2 touchdowns and 138 yards. Fifth-ranked Georgia routed Vanderbilt 45-14 Saturday, despite missing 3 players from the Bulldogs' stingy defense.
It's second down and short for Georgia. Fromm with the snap, hands it to Chubb, jumps into the secondary, shreds the tackle at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown for Nick Chubb, and the Dogs are on the board.
The voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, with the call from IMG. Georgia now off to its best start since 2005, when the Bulldogs won their first 7 games and longest winning streak since reaching the SEC championship in 2012. Bulldogs also avenged a 17-16 loss to Vanderbilt last year by beating the Commodores for the 20th time in the past 23 games in this series. Over on the Plains, Kerryon Johnson rushed for a career-high 204 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Tigers beat Ole Miss 44-23. Johnson spoke with the SEC Network following the game about his offensive line and this offense for the Tigers.
I'm very comfortable. Like you said, the O-line is stepping up. Week by week, they're getting better. People are saying, if you take away Big Ryan here, they're not running the ball.
27-19 win over Texas A&M Saturday night.
Man-to-man coverage being shown by the Aggies right there. Now Jalen will audible, using hand signals, claps, gets the snap, hands off. Harris breaks free into the secondary. The race is on. 50, 40, 30. Damian's going. Touchdown, Alabama. Take that on the first play from scrimmage, and a 75-yard touchdown run for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Wow.
Eli Gold with the call from Learfield. The Aggies, who entered the game as a 26.5-point underdog, made the game interesting, but in the end, freshman quarterback Kellen Mond was simply too inexperienced to help them topple a team as talented as the Crimson Tide. The Gamecocks scored 3 touchdowns on defense, returning 2 interceptions and a fumble in a 48-22 win over Arkansas Saturday afternoon. But Jake Bentley and the offense contributed to the scoring effort as well.
Bentley out of the gun on 2nd and 8. Fakes inside, play action. Wants to go down the middle of the field. Got Hurst wide open at the 30. Running away at the 20. The big man's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Hayden Hurst. 62 yards out, his second of the year through the air.
The voice of South Carolina, Todd Ellis from IMG with a call. Austin McGinnis kicked 4 field goals, including 2 in the fourth quarter. And Steven Johnson and Benny Snell each had 2 touchdowns as Kentucky outlasted Missouri 40-34 in a back-and-forth marathon Saturday evening. Mark Stoops spoke on Johnson's play to the SEC Network.
I couldn't be more proud of Steven and the way he just hangs in there. He took a beating here tonight. Give Missouri credit, and Barry, I knew that he would have them ready to play. They played a heck of a game, and I'm very proud of Steven. He makes a very big place for us tonight.
And that's been a look back at Southeastern Conference play from last week. Coming up next, we'll preview this weekend's games, but first, a word from our sponsor.
The programming heard on WMSV 91.1 FM is brought to you in part through support from the Columbus Municipal School District. For information on the Columbus schools or for events happening at the schools, visit columbuscityschools.org. One team, one Columbus.
Things kick off in the SEC with an out-of-conference game with Mississippi State meeting up with BYU. 11 a.m. is the kickoff on the SEC Network from Starkville's Davis Wade Stadium at Scott Field. The Bulldogs are looking to get back to winning ways. They have dropped their last 2, and they've been blowouts. Mississippi State 3-2, 1-2 in the SEC. BYU's 1-5. They've lost their last 5 since opening up the season with a victory. BYU has had some struggles. They've had some struggles offensively, rushing the football, only averaging 3.5 yards per carry, and they've also struggled shooting themselves in the foot with offensive penalties and mistakes of that nature. Dan Mullen now previews the Cougars.
Turnovers, I think, have hurt them. I think one of the things you gotta look is they've had some self-inflicted errors that you look and say, okay, well, boy, they've struggled these games. Well, take away those self-inflicted errors, they don't struggle. And so what if they show up here and they don't have any self-inflicted errors? I've coached long enough to know that. You watch some film and say, okay, boy, this team's struggling. Are they struggling, or are they making some correctable mistakes? And what happens if they show up at your place and they correct all those mistakes, or you have to go play them and they correct all those mistakes? Very different team.
South Carolina and Tennessee will meet. One and one in the SEC. They've been a little bit of a disappointment so far this year, but Ed Orgeron's club got a shot in the arm last week with a win at Florida. But still, not everybody's okay in Baton Rouge. Not everybody's okay with the way the Tigers are so far. So they really need a win to kind of boost themselves and maybe get a lot of people off Ed Orgeron's back. Tiger Stadium is assigned from Baton Rouge. 2:30 p.m. is the kickoff on CBS. And this has always been a big slobber knocker between these two. And head coach Gus Malzahn of the Auburn Tigers talks about this game.
Yeah, this is always one of those games that, it's usually won up front on both sides of the football. And, last year was a very physical game, and this year we expect it to be the same. And, that's always fun to play a team that's physical, and they usually are, and we usually are. And it's usually a good one.
It's going to be tough for Ed Orgeron's defense to stop this Auburn offense. They have just been on a roll with Kerryon Johnson and company, and Stidham's finally getting things. They're clicking offensively, but they're also so stingy on defense. Auburn is a complete deal. LSU, though, here's a note on them that people need to realize. They have played 20 true freshmen so far this season, 10 on offense, 10 on defense. They're still kind of a young, inexperienced team trying to learn to win in the SEC. Ole Miss finally comes back to Oxford. The Rebels will be playing at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium in Hollingsworth Field on Saturday against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Now, traditionally, Vanderbilt has been a team that has been a thorn in the Rebels' side. The Alabamas and the Auburns. Yeah, Vanderbilt's tough, but they're not as strong as those two teams I just mentioned. 2:30 p.m. on the SEC Network is the kickoff in Oxford, Mississippi. Matt Luke is just happy for his Rebels to be back home and for them to be able to walk through the Grove and slap hands with Rebel faithful.
Been on the road for what seems like, has been a month now. So excited to get back home, play against a very, very good Vanderbilt team. Got a lot of respect for Coach Mason and the program that they have, but just excited to get back in front of our fans. I mean, coming back, walking through the Grove, playing at Vaught-Hemingway, I think our players are excited about that. We're going to build on the second half of Auburn, and that's going to be the turning point of our season. And we're excited to get back home 3 weeks in a row, and just looking forward to this. Looking forward to the challenge.
Ole Miss 2-3, 0-2 in the SEC. They're trying to get their first conference win and also get to 500 on the season. Vanderbilt's at 500. They're 3-3. 0-3, though, in the league. And they're also ready to stop playing the Alabamas and Georgias. They did have Florida sandwiched in there. Florida, still a good team, but not one of the upper echelon teams. But this should be an interesting battle in Oxford on Saturday. 6 p.m. is the kickoff on ESPN2 for Texas A&M at Florida. The Aggies now all of a sudden a resurging team. 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the SEC. Of course, they lost to Alabama. UCLA was their first loss when they had that big lead in the first half and lost it in the second half. The Florida Gators 3-2, 3-1 in the SEC. Florida leads the series 2-1. So these two teams haven't played each other an awful lot, and these Texas A&M Aggies, a lot of them never been to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium or even Gainesville. So it'll be something interesting for the Texas A&M players and fans. And Coach Kevin Sumlin now talks about the atmosphere of Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
It's an exciting deal. Most of our players have never been there. A lot of our fans haven't either. So a great opportunity. I don't think they've played a night game there in a while. So I was surprised to see that. This league on the road is the way this league is. There's passion in every place you go, and they're all every fan base is really passionate about their football team.
Arkansas is 2-3 overall, 0-2 in the league, and they're tasked this Saturday to go to Tuscaloosa to take on the conference and the nation's best team. 6-0 Alabama, 3-0 in the SEC. 6:15 p.m. is the kickoff on ESPN from Bryant-Denny Stadium. This game is mental, just like a lot of sports. So Alabama didn't play well at A&M. They didn't punt the ball well. They had their first turnover this season and just got into an atmosphere that was really, really good, and they were challenged by a better Texas A&M team than when Texas A&M first started. So, with all that said, Alabama will be hosting Arkansas, a team that isn't like A&M, hasn't improved. Arkansas took a step back last week at South Carolina, a team that had been struggling themselves. It was a battle between two teams that were not doing so well. But Arkansas does have some weapons to go into any SEC stadium and win. It just depends on, I guess, where their mental focus is and how hard they play and do they make mistakes. It's going to be difficult for them, though, this coming Saturday. But Nick Saban talks about Arkansas and some of those weapons they have.
Arkansas, I think, has got a really, really good team. I think they've got some players that can really make a difference in the game, starting with the quarterback, who certainly played against us last year. Made some fabulous throws and really good plays. They've got 3 running backs that, help them be one of the most effective teams running the ball of anybody that we've played to this point. I think you can sit here and talk about what they have not done as a team, or you can say they should have beat Texas A&M, and they're very capable of scoring a lot of points and being a very good team.
Missouri 1-4 overall, 0-3 in the SEC, will travel between the hedges to Athens to take on Georgia. They're undefeated like Alabama at 6-0, 3-0 in the SEC. 6:30 p.m. is the kickoff on the SEC network, and Barry Odom for the Tigers sizes up the Georgia Bulldogs.
They're a heck of a team, and it's Kirby's done a great job over his career and continues to do it. They're playing as good, like I said, as anybody in the country. He's got skill all over the field, and they're coached really well. It would be a great environment. One of the men, I hadn't been in the league that long, but the time we went there 2 years ago, and was one of the best environments I've ever been a part of in college athletics.
Open this week, just the Kentucky Wildcats standing at 5-1, 2-1 in the league. That's going to do it for SEC Update this week. I'm Jason Crowder reporting.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. This cat makes me make art. He's always motivating me to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Keyboard Cat, YouTube star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Start yours today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Arthritis, heart disease, respiratory disease, osteoporosis, diabetes, nutrition, falls and fractures, depression, hearing loss. The list of issues affecting seniors' health goes on and on. At OCH Regional Medical Center, we have the services you need to maintain or improve your health and well-being. We can help you be well and live well at every stage of your life. Whatever your health needs, OCH is here. We know a healthy life is a happy life.
Flu season is here. To help keep the campus and Starkville community healthy this flu season, here are some things you can do to help decrease your chances of getting the flu. Wash your hands, fist or elbow bump instead of handshake. Limit your attendance at large events where many people are crowded in tight spaces if you are not feeling well. Try to avoid others who are coughing and sneezing or have the flu. Toss tissues after using them. Hibernate if you are sick. For more information, visit www.cdc.gov/flu.
This is Jared Ingersoll, host of Wandering Minstrels. Join me each week for an hour of classic and modern folk music. Tune in Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on World Class Radio 91.1.
Are you searching for an opportunity to earn an advanced degree but can't attend class on campus because of work and family commitments? Want to learn from outstanding professors and gain the skills you need to advance your career at an affordable price with a flexible schedule? Mississippi State University's 29 online master's and doctoral degree programs might be a perfect fit for your busy lifestyle. You can visit distance.msstate.edu if you want to learn more. Mississippi State University, where we ring true.
You're listening to 91.1 FM, WMSV, Starkville.
Welcome back here up in Southaven as the Columbus Falcons are taking on the Southaven Chargers. The score currently stands in favor of the Chargers, 31-7 at the halftime break. As we look over what exactly happened during our first half of play, it was the Southaven Chargers who scored first on a touchdown. And then Columbus came back to equalize 7-7, and then in the end of the first quarter, and Southaven scored 24 unanswered points as they are now in the lead again 31-7 as we look over some of the stats. Southaven will go first. They have 16 overall rushing yards. Their quarterback Posey has been sacked a few times behind the line of scrimmage. Great front four pressure from the Falcons has led to that. They also have given up 2 turnovers and then 2 turnovers on downs as well. And of course those are being on bad snaps on punts, which the Columbus Falcons ended up converting on 1 touchdown. for the night. We look over at their quarterback, Posey, who's 12 for 22 and has 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And we go over to Columbus Falcons. They have negative 17 rushing yards, and that mainly comes from the sacks that Stowers has been taking back here in the backfield. Again, great pressure has been on both sides for the Southaven Chargers and the Falcons. But Stowers has a good night, throwing the ball 8 for 18 for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. Of course, that 1 interception that was a pick 6 sort of late in the second quarter. And they have given up 2 turnovers, a fumble in the first quarter and a pick in the second, and of course been favored on 3, but haven't been able to convert a whole lot. Overall, Mr. Anthony, the defense has looked really well for the Falcons, except for when they've been gashed for some big plays.
Yeah, the secondary had some issues there in that second quarter when Southaven decided to commit to the passing attack. Posey made some good throws. The play calling was really creative for Southaven in the second quarter on that first half, and the secondary in straight man-on-man coverage had some issues. When they moved to some zone coverage or got some safety help, then they were able to stop the down the field passing attack. One thing that's killed Columbus defensively is yards after the catch. And so that's been an issue. Can they get that corrected? The good news is you got 24 minutes left in this ball game. Time to come back, but you got to get off to a good start in the third quarter, and you got to fix the issues defensively, mainly down the field coverage in the secondary, broken tackles in the secondary, got to wrap up. And then on offense, the O-line has got to step up, and they have to block. And Stowers and the wideouts are going to have to make some plays down the field to get back in the ball game. Can they do that early in the third quarter and make it a ball game in the fourth quarter? That's my big question mark coming into half number 2.
And I think the ball game will go a long way if the Columbus Falcons are able to stop the Chargers and then score. It has to be in that sort of possession. If the Chargers get momentum at all here in the second half, it could go really bad. But we do know it is possible to score 24 points in a quarter. So it is theoretically possible.
Right. We just saw it. Yeah.
So, and it's not like Southaven has been playing flawless football either. We've seen them haven't been able to hold the ball really well. There was one weird play where Martin came from behind and punched the ball out as the receiver was running down, and the receiver just happened to fall on it again for some more yards, but the ball was out. And we see, of course, on special teams, 2 balls go way behind the line of scrimmage that the Falcons are able to capitalize on. So if more of those events are to happen again, and I believe that Posey is allowing some chances for interceptions, if they can get 1 here, score, 1 there, score, it becomes a different ball game.
And at some point, you got to get some defensive scores. You know, when you're down by 24 or more points, your defense has to score touchdowns, or you got to get some TDs out of your kicking game. Can you get a special teams or defensive score to give you a spark plug? To your point, it's got to come fairly early, or else momentum stays with Southaven, and it's homecoming. Lots of things going their way, but we did see in that first half the Chargers turn the ball over 3 times, but then the Falcons also had some turnover issues, and Southaven clearly was winning the field position battle. That's got to change for the Falcons here in half number 2.
Definitely. And especially the mental toughness of a young squad. How far will their mental toughness go? They've been in situations like this before, and they've continued to fight. And if they continue to fight, I do believe they have a chance against this Chargers team.
Definitely.
So we're going to take one last break before we go to kick off. You're listening to Columbus Falcon Football on 91.1 WMSB.
The purpose of the MSU Wireless Guest Network is to allow on-campus visitors internet access. Access to the MSU Guest Network is granted by entering the password of the day, which is valid until midnight. The wireless guest password may be obtained in person at the Barnes & Noble bookstore or from a sponsoring MSU employee.
When When you went car shopping, you meant business. You ace vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesman to the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Fall is here, Bulldogs, and so is football. Get set for game day with MSU Catering. Relax and enjoy the game and leave the cooking to them. For information on their game day tailgate packages, call 662-325-3663. And MSU students, before the game, be sure to load up on Flex Dollars to use at all student concession stands. With MSU Catering and MSU Dining, you can feed the dog inside.
Join us for WMSV Singer-Songwriter Night every Monday from 9:30 to midnight at Dave's Dark Horse Tavern. Anthony's Good Food Market of West Point, Mississippi, proud supporter of the Juke on WMSV, features some of the South's finest Cajun and Delta-inspired cuisine like barbecue shrimp, hand-cut blackened ribeyes, and gumbo. Plus, for live music fans, every Wednesday night, it's the Midweek Mojo, featuring musical performances from 7 until 10. Anthony's, established in 1936, is a brown bag establishment, so feel free to bring your own bottle of wine or spirits to enjoy with your meal. Anthony's Good Food Market, located at 116 Main Street in West Point, Mississippi. Reservations are recommended on weekends, 494-0316. Anthony's, now on Facebook and online.
All righty, back to go here with the third quarter of play. We have some extremely unusual scores in the region tonight. We will share those with you here shortly. Columbus will kick it from right to left. Chris Taylor has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and the Falcons will begin work on trying to erase the 31-7 deficit. Hernando 7, DeSoto Central 2 in the fourth quarter. How does that grab you?
That's exactly what Jackson predicted.
Hernando 7-2. They've got 10 minutes to go in the ball game.
That is, and of course those two teams both winless so far in district play.
Oxford's leading Horn Lake 7-0 with 6.5 minutes to play in the game.
Wow.
And South Pinola's leading Tupelo 21-10 at the end of 3.
Wow, so 3, and even this score is what we didn't expect. So 4 odd scores in the second half in Region 1 6A tonight.
West Point 44-0 tonight over Olive Branch, and Starkville's leading Madison Central 14-6. First down and 10 Chargers from their own 20-yard line. Pass is complete in the flats. Got a good block, good running lane up to the line of scrimmage. Ball was called initially in the backfield about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We'll probably go for a modest gain here.
Who was that?
That was Zacharias Towns, number 12, Towns, on the reception.
He goes by ZQ to his inner circle. Second down and 8 coming up from the 22-yard line. Starkville Academy 10, Heritage Academy 7 tonight with 12 minutes to go. Starting the fourth quarter there tonight in Columbus. So second down and 8 now, Southaven. Here is the snap. It is a running play again. It is a handoff to Hurt. And I would think the Southaven motto is run the football and don't do anything dumb. I would think that's...
And when you have the ball and you're up by 24 points, smart strategy.
I would think I would think they would try to keep it simplistic and try not to overthink what they're trying to do, and move these proceedings along. Get on to the homecoming dance. Third down and 8 now. Falcons needing a 3 and out because the rally will have to be quick. It's an end around and brought down for the loss. There is the running back, number 11.
That's Callahan. Xanthius Callahan, who is a two-way player. We've seen him on defense at corner some tonight as well.
The Falcons got what you have to have to start this third quarter, and then the clock stopping for no apparent reason. Oh, they have a penalty. That's what it was. It was on Southaven and decline because Columbus wants the football. My apologies to the working officials. I had no idea why the clock was stopped. I didn't see the flag.
I didn't either.
I haven't seen a flag tonight. We've had several penalties, and I yet to see a flag.
The officials were not throwing them very far.
No,
not like last time, Mr. Scott, where the other dude was chunking across field.
This is more of just a dropping the flag.
Here comes the punt. It is a clean kick. Heavy pressure is gotten away, though. Ball will bounce at midfield and be down at the 46-yard line. And certainly, Anthony, if you're going to rally in this football game, you're going to have to have a couple of abnormal things happen.
Yes.
Such as a punt block or a long return.
And the Falcons almost had that one blocked. They almost got a handle on that one. Still, though, good field position to begin this opening drive of the third quarter. You have to get points, though, here, at least 3, to feel good about yourself moving forward now in the second half, down 31-7.
It's whoever has momentum, and you have to build that momentum early.
First down and 10, Columbus from its own 46-yard line. Here is the handoff. It is running play. It's Patrick Jackson, and he has stopped after about a 1-yard pickup.
Kendarius Reed on the tackle. We've called Reed's name a couple of times tonight. Boy, the edge rushers for Southaven have been all over the place tonight. There's just been nowhere to go for a Columbus running back.
So second down and 9 coming up from the 47-yard line. And the Falcons with 9:27 and the clock running in need of putting some quick scores together. Pass this time off the fingertips of Derek Jordan. He would have gone for not for a first down gain, but for a minimal gain, and unable to make the reception right in front of the Columbus sidelines. And now all of a sudden Columbus, after the 3 and out on defense, facing a third and long here on their first offensive possession of the third quarter. Southaven leading the football game 31-7 tonight. The Falcons, again, back-to-back losses last 2 weeks to Tupelo and Horn Lake, unable to score an offensive touchdown. They achieved that milestone tonight, but unable to have any type of offensive consistency. This time Stowers is sacked and goes down on that throwing shoulder, and this is not going to be good. He is sacked as he did throw the football away. It is an incomplete pass, but he is down on the 40-yard line and in some serious pain.
Yeah, he was hit as that ball was being released. As you mentioned, Scott was hit on that throwing shoulder, fell down, has not gotten up yet, and appears to be in some pain and is now being attended to by the training staff, and the coaches will also walk out and check on the starting quarterback.
The medical staff will go out and attend to Latarius. It's been a struggle tonight up here.
Listen, it's things were going smoothly, and then now that's a good sign. Now Latarius is up. He's holding his arm. That's not a good sign, but it is a good sign that he jumped up and is now walking off the field, and we'll see what the injury is.
Yeah, most likely, again, it's been a shoulder strain. It's been a slight separation of the shoulder, they said, after the DeSoto Central game. And he is out for this play. It is a 4th down, so it is a punt. And Chris Taylor kicks the ball away. It is fielded by Southaven at the 16, and the return goes for just a handful of yards. And as we mentioned earlier, Southaven most likely will be conservative here this half, and certainly they have seen what we have seen as far as Stowers going out of the ball game, and they know if that is a prolonged situation that Columbus is going to struggle to have any type of offensive consistency. So Southaven will take the football over first down and 10 from its own 25-yard line. 9 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. And the Chargers are already comfortably ahead in the ball game by a score of 31-7. And we have a stoppage of play.
We do. We'll see what... Well, I thought we did.
Oh, they blew the whistle.
Okay. Now just a quick whistle on the play.
Running play up the middle. It was Hurt again, who goes for no gain. So that will bring up a second down and 10.
I want to go back to that punt. Chris Taylor eyes, he didn't bring the ball down automatically. It sort of reminded me of the Army punt where he was looking to see if he could run and then punt if he could.
Snap is low, passes over the middle and knocked down by Devin King.
Well, Devin King's been the best corner man tonight for the Falcons. But if Devin does not get a hand on that ball, number 7 was going to go for a long ways for Southaven.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up. And we have a stoppage of play again and a flag. I see the flag this time.
So we'll see what the call is.
It wasn't delay of game, was it?
No.
And there wasn't a play call. It's been like.
It was a pre-snap penalty, but referees are discussing it right now at the 25-yard line of Southaven.
They all said no penalty occurred.
Wave it off.
And that's what you're supposed to do. If someone had a better angle, they come in, they talk about it, and they pick up the yellow handkerchief.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up. And the Columbus defense is trying to get the stop again. Pass this time is overthrown in pass coverage for Columbus was Jordan Randall and Devin King.
Yeah, King was right there again, step for step, with number 7 in orange.
I don't understand why you throw the football up 24.
I also don't understand it. Now, in their defense, it's worked almost every time they've done it tonight. Well, at least in that 12-minute period in the 2nd quarter. But you're right, up 24.
I
just got to start.
I don't understand these things.
Why leave the door open for an interception?
It's a bad snap. Punter gets it off. He got it around the defense of Jordan Randall. I have no idea how. Kenneth Martin with the punt return took it at the 40, gets up to the 49-yard line. So officially a 35-yard punt, which was great considering the snap. And Columbus will start with 8:08 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. 1st down and 10 from its own 49. And we'll have to see what they elect to do here at the quarterback position. It will be the sophomore Jalen Craddock, who has drawn the last 2 starts for the Falcons. He will be onto the scene. Has thrown the football well at times. It's been a difficult challenge for the offensive line to give Jalen any kind of time in the last 2 weeks in games against both Tupelo and Horn Lake. 1st and 10 Columbus, ball officially at the 48. Craddock is back to throw in the flats. It's Patrick Jackson and it's dropped. And that will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
See, if you're down 24, you have to take chances. Throwing sideline to sideline, I mean, you're hoping for a missed tackle, but you want to try to get up, try to go vertical.
And right now, just not enough time on most of the plays for Columbus to do that in the face of this pass rush of Southaven.
This time the pass is off the helmet of a Southaven Charger, intended in the flats, that time for Kenneth Martin.
Mario Boyland broke up that play. Southaven just has been faster to the ball tonight than has Columbus. To your point, Scott, about the Southaven play calling, that's the play calling of a team that does not have a 3-hour drive later on tonight.
Right. It is that indeed. So a 3rd down and 10 coming up for Columbus, 7:59 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Chargers leading 31-7 in the ball game. That's where we were at the half. Craddock is back to throw off of his back foot. Should have been intercepted, dropped by the defensive back for Southaven.
And that was again Boyland who broke up that play. As Scott mentioned, probably should have been intercepted. Boyland was thinking pick 6 and never grabbed the football, thankfully for Columbus. So Taylor back on to punt, a 3-and-out, and right now nothing going right for the Falcons on offense.
7:53 to go in the third quarter of play. And Chris stands around the 40-yard line. Gets the kick away, gets a good bounce. It will roll to the 10, to the 5. It's muffed at the 1-yard line. And they're going to call him down at the 1.
Tell you what,
you throw the football up 24 and you field punts on your own 5-yard line at 24.
The punt return unit for Southaven tonight is not going to receive any awards from the coaching staff when they watch game film tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So 7:41 to go in the third quarter of play. Southaven will start first down and 10 from its own 1-yard line.
What a great punt from Taylor to force the issue and create that situation where Southaven now has it pinned inside their own 5 to begin the drive.
The Falcons needing a big play. Perhaps it could come defensively or on special teams. They will spot the ball officially at the 5-yard line. The Southaven backfield will work out of the end zone for this play. And we will have a stoppage of play.
Some early movements.
False start on the Chargers. That will push it back to around the 3.
Oh, man.
I think the ball was, they're going to have this thing right inside the 1-yard line.
Oh, man.
Well, it was at the 5. That should have been half the distance. Pass in the flats, incomplete.
What I think happened, Scott, they actually, and it's hard to see from our vantage point, they actually marked the ball originally on the punt return down at the 1.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and so now it's second and long, or third and long now.
No, you're right. Second down. This pass is intercepted by Devin King because the Southaven Chargers just want to throw the football.
Well, and it's not like they're, yes, they are throwing the football, but they went away from the passing plays that worked in the second quarter, and now they're trying to pick on Devin King, and that's not going to work. And Devin King now has 2 interceptions, and the Falcons have it inside Southaven territory.
I would send an invite saying keep throwing to Devin King, please.
Yeah, first down and 10 from the 28-yard line. The Chargers give the ball to the Falcons on the turnover. 7:30 to go in the third quarter of play.
Can the Falcons now take advantage?
Jalen Craddock is back to throw. Kenneth Martin's the intended receiver. He has the catch for the touchdown Falcons.
And that's how you get back in the ball game.
Fantastic job. Lofted it up there, let his best wideout fight for the football, and Martin does just that and comes down with another nice catch. Good night tonight for Kenneth Martin. And the Falcons now a chance to cut this lead back to 17.
Well, that was a 33-yarder?
Yes. No. 28.
28. All right. I knew it was close to 30.
PAT is up and good, so Taylor makes it a 14-31 ball game. Southaven on top. Columbus trying to creep back into it. And we'll come back in 1 minute. This is 91.1's coverage of Columbus High School football on WMSV.
Alrighty, 7 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Devin King's second interception of the night sets up Columbus with a short field, and it is a touchdown for the Falcons. The kick return, though, is going to go the other way for a long distance, all the way out to midfield before falling down on his own at the 43-yard line. Took the ball right at the base of the goal line. That was our friend Seven.
It was our friend Seven.
We got to get with the Southaven staff and learn who number 7 is. He has been targeted.
Well, the Columbus defense doesn't know.
That's right.
So 7:10 to go in the third quarter of play. It's been a strange ball game, and Columbus realistically is still in the contest.
Got to get one more score on the board to feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
First down and 10 now from the Columbus 42, and the pass, because you always throw the ball up 17, is over the intended receiver in the flats.
And the Falcons have begun to take a little bit of advantage over this.
But the good news is they didn't throw it toward Devin.
Correct, and the Falcon defense. They've made a couple of changes here. They've moved Devin, so he is now face guarding the best wideout on Southaven's team, and Southaven has not yet made the other offensive adjustments.
Well, Randall did. I think they called a penalty on Randall.
Well, they haven't marked anything off, though. There's been There's just been a lot of conversation tonight without anything happening. This is like going to Walmart shopping. It's just been a lot of.
I think they're just going to let it play.
They confer, they talk, they discuss, they think about, and then.
And now we have a situation where a Columbus player is having a conversation with the officials.
I don't have any idea what this is.
They called a flag and they called it back. So Randall was called for a penalty.
And the flag was picked up, and then the officials told Devin King to leave the ball game.
And they told him to come back.
Well, he's on the sidelines. But again, there has been no mark-off of any sort.
Maybe we had an equipment malfunction.
Now the Southaven coaching staff wants an explanation. If I'm the official, I'm asking the Southaven coach why he's throwing the ball up 24. This is a great chance to ask that question.
But now we saw Southaven on their opening possession try to run the ball.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Southaven asked for Devin to come out.
Maybe
we're going to keep throwing the football, so
please, can number 2 in white
that guy out.
Go to the sideline.
There has been, in the words of Jimmy C. Gatwood, who taught me driver's ed back in the day, if something was going wrong in class, he would go, boys, we have some confusion up in here.
Everyone.
And we have all kind of confusion. And this started at 6:52 when the officials looked at their watch and saw 16 minutes on the countdown clock, and they didn't understand
and let it go.
That either.
We were almost 10 full minutes delayed in starting the game. And at this rate, we may not leave here till 11 o'clock.
But now the players are talking to Southaven with the refs. Everyone's talking with the refs.
And the refs have not communicated yet to us.
And now Randall will talk to
them. They don't know what they have.
A disjointed game, but right now momentum seems to be coming back over to Columbus' side. The defense needs a big stop right here. Give your offense the ball back. The offense moved the ball well on the last drive. If the Falcons can get this thing back to a 2-score game, then you feel good about yourself now with still half the third quarter to go.
Oh yeah, and with a fourth quarter to play, and you've chipped into it. And the Southaven team again, they've made mistakes on punting again, and the pick was made. So Southaven hasn't played perfect. You just can't. You have to play perfect from here on out if you're at Columbus.
I still want to know what they have told Devin. anybody. I'd like to know what they told Southaven. I'd like to know what they told Ramble. I'd like to know who number 7 is. They're questions. I have questions.
I'd like to get an Egg McMuffin.
With pepper?
Maybe a little.
Extra.
And they are now going to mark a penalty off.
Okay. And it's a big one too, the 15-yard variety.
Yeah, they're going to put it down at the 27-yard line, so a 15-yard mark off. I'm hoping that Devin was not targeting. I'm hoping that was not the call there and that he's done. Surely that's not.
Well, we won't know because we never have actually gotten a call from the officials.
Yeah, it was just confusion.
First down and 10 from the 27, 7:05 to go in the third quarter. And the Chargers will throw in the halfback pass, and it works to perfection for the touchdown. That was number 7 throwing into the end zone to a wide open receiver, and that is on the catch, Zavarius Towns.
Yeah, a double pass, screen pass to number 7, and Towns, the running back, came out of the backfield wide open, double pass because the first pass was behind the line of scrimmage, and Towns wide open. Number 7 flirted one to him, and Towns walks it in for a touchdown. That is a huge answer for Southaven.
How far was that?
27 yards after the penalty.
Yeah, I like the play call. After that time where the confusion is just going on and you think the defense just want to go, it was a good play call, trick play on there. I do tip my hat off to them for that play.
Extra point attempt is up and no good, wide left. 6:56 third quarter, 37-14 Southaven. This is Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
Discovery. It tells our history and determines our future. At Mississippi State University, we're digging deep, unlocking an understanding of our past, validating it. Middle East exploration by faculty and students is uncovering evidence that unravels ancient mysteries. Scholars have long thought of the biblical kings David and Solomon as mythological figures. Our research offers evidence that supports their existence.
Alrighty, 6 minutes, 56 seconds to go in the third quarter of play, and Southaven has extended the lead to 37-14. And the Chargers will kick it and go from left to right here. And the Columbus offense, which scored on its last possession on a short field, will have to work its magic again. And I'll try to make this a 2-score game going into the fourth quarter. The kick return this time is Kenneth Martin at the 10. All the way up to the 35-yard line before being knocked out of bounds. And that's where Columbus will start. First down and 10 from its own 35. An enormous amount of time still left in this ball game. 6:47 to go in the third quarter. And so it's certainly a situation where the Falcons can get some things going as they did on their last possession. Still an uphill climb, but still in the ball game. The missed extra point. This is a 3-score ball game at the moment. But Columbus will have to do it, most likely, on the arm of reserve quarterback Jalen Craddock, who is in on relief for Latarius Stowers, who left the ball game 2 possessions ago after being sacked. And Patrick Jackson on the running play goes around the right side and picks up about 3 yards on first down.
And right now the Falcons just trying to get first downs. Get a first down, then get into the red zone, and then trying to get it into the end zone. Still a lot of time left as you find yourself down by 23.
Second down and 7 after the pickup by Patrick there on first down from the 28-yard line. Starkville Academy has beaten Heritage tonight, 17-14, the final in Lowndes County. Good ball game between the two rivals there. The second down play goes to Derek Jordan, who plunges it forward and gets about a 3-yard pickup on the second down.
And we're seeing now some push up front from this Falcon offensive line.
So that will bring up a third down and short. Devin's still on the sidelines being talked to by assistant coaches. Does not have his helmet on. Now he's got it back on, rejoining his teammates on the sideline. We'll see if he's still with us tonight. Jordan Randall also talking, trying to get the troops up. Third down, it's a pickup by Patrick Jackson. Good hard running down to the 47-yard line. Picks up the first down. About a 6-yard pickup by Patrick.
A nice play call there with Southaven still being very aggressive on defense. The Falcon offense calls the delayed handoff, and it catches the Chargers a bit off guard, and it results in a 1st and 10 for Columbus.
So first down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Snap back to Craddock. He's going to throw. He's going to throw deep. It's a jump ball, and it's batted away at the last second by the Southaven DD. Javorius Vance was the player, the intended receiver.
Not a bad idea. Those plays have worked a couple of times tonight for Columbus, but when they have worked, it's been Martin the target, not Vance.
That was Cedric Adams again in the defense for Southaven. He's been all over the field tonight.
He's had a good night.
Yeah, and Martin is just a bigger target than Vance, I think, too. That's why they've been targeting him on a couple of those fade routes.
So second down and 10 coming up from the 47. And the pass is intended for Derek Jordan. He's hit hard as the ball was in flight, and that goes incomplete. And that will bring up a third down and long.
The Falcons have tried that quick dump-off pass to the running back on the short side of the field now twice, and both times Southaven has blown the play up.
Well, they've blown it up every time they've tried that.
So third down and 10 now from the 47. 5:04 clock stop, third quarter of play. And Southaven is leading the ball game 37-14 after leading 31-7 at the half. Craddock is back to throw, plenty of time this time. Airs it out for Javorius Vance, overthrows him around the 40-yard line.
And they're going to punt.
And the Falcons will have to send the football over.
Yeah, 4th and long, your own side of the 50. They're playing right now with, again, your backup quarterback. The good news is because Craddock has had some playing time the last 2 weeks, it's not a situation he's unfamiliar with. He can come in and fill in somewhat effectively for Stowers, who is sitting on the sideline with his shoulder in an ice wrap.
Punt by Chris Taylor is going to be down right at the goal line. They're going to spot it down at the 1-yard line again.
Fantastic.
Or close to it, 1-2 yard line.
Good job by Taylor again.
Heads up play. Heads up play.
They are going to put it down around the 3.
That's what it looks like.
Yes,
3.5, yeah.
So a 44-yard kick there by Chris. 4:46 to go in the third quarter. Southaven will take the football over first and 10 from its own 3-yard line.
They have the ball up by at least 3 scores.
Devin King is back out on the field, so he is still
That's good.
with us. Southaven hopefully will throw the football here up 23 out of your own end zone. Bad snap picked up at the last second by Hurt, who simply has to hustle to get it out of the end zone. And he does do that back to the original line of scrimmage. Josh Gray there to make the tackle. Oxford beats Horn Lake tonight 21-0, that final.
Wow. So I'm going to assume, I shouldn't assume, I'm going to guess Horn Lake again without their starting quarterback.
That's that situation tonight for them.
Huge win, though, for Oxford.
It is.
And that shakes up things in the division, too.
Second down and 10, probably more along the lines of 11 from around the 3-yard line. Movement, no flag, pass complete to 7, who is wrapped up by Devin King after a small gain at most. And not that I'm telling Southaven what to do, but I would take the safety here on 4th down. I would not punt out of my own end zone, but that's...
Well, we'll see what happens.
For them to decide and me to watch. 3rd down and 6 coming up now. The pass play got a good spot on it out to about the 7-yard line. Clock running, 3:30 to go, 3rd quarter of play, 37-14 in favor of Southaven. Here is the snap. Quarterback keeps around the left end, gets a block, gets out of bounds, and gets the 1st down.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I saw some jersey, but I mean, it's not called.
Nice play call. We haven't seen Posey run the read option at all tonight, and the defense that time not expecting him to grab that ball, tuck it, and run it. That's what he did, and picks up a nice 1st down for Southaven.
The ball is spotted at the 21, 3:16. Well, clock stopped for the out of bounds on the pickup, on the 1st down pickup by the Chargers. So 1st down and 10, ball's at the 21 for Southaven, and they are now back out of the shadow of their own end zone. And this time the ball goes to Hurt. He goes around the left side and is finally forced out of bounds by Devin King, but not before picking up good 1st down yardage. Maybe another 1st down. Let's see where they spot him out. It's really hard. They're going to be short of the 1st down by about a yard. It's really hard to see the opposing team's sidelines from here.
This is one of the lower vantage points in terms of elevation for us all year long.
Southaven, though, keeps going out of bounds, which is a positive here for the Falcons. 2nd down and 1. Here is the handoff. It's to Hurt, who broke a tackle behind the line of scrimmage and will push forward for the 1st down.
So now Southaven, we start seeing them on this drive begin to run some clock, take time in between every single snap.
1st and 10 now. The play runs to the 32-yard line. It is a handoff again to Hurt, and he is balled up behind the line of scrimmage.
They tried to counter play left side, and the Falcons said, no thank you.
Christopher Craddock in on the stop.
Close that door in a hurry.
Play will go for no gain. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And again, Southaven quickly at the line, but they are in no hurry as they begin to change the play. Play clock now under 7 seconds.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 32. Snap is picked up off the ground. And again, around the left side is Hurt. And he's going to pick up close to the 1st down for Jordan Randall escorts him out of bounds, but they keep him, the officials keep him out of bounds, inbounds rather, say he was down before going out of bounds, but just barely. So about an 8-yard pickup. That will bring up a 3rd down and 2. And the Falcon defense in need of a stop here on 3rd down and short yardage to try to get the ball back. Again, 2 tackles broken at the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback keeps and goes up to midfield. Good hard running there by the quarterback. And he picks up 9 yards on the keep.
Yeah, Posey's a big kid. He has some girth to him, a bit of a load to bring down. I'm surprised we didn't see him take off on some QB runs in the 1st half.
So the ball now at midfield. First down and 10 from the 50, 1:09 clock running to go here in the 3rd quarter, 37-14, Southaven the lead. And this time it's Hurt, and he goes around the left end for about a 1-yard pickup. If you were at one of the 8,000 or so high school games already completed tonight, you have joined us late. 7-all at the end of the first quarter. Southaven scored first. Columbus tied the game. And then in the second quarter of play, a 24-point quarter. And when the Falcons fell off the cliff, it got bad in a hurry.
It did. And we are the Pac-12 game of the MHSAA schedule tonight.
I really hope to be on Crowder's show tonight, but we may not make it. Second down and 8 around the left side. And our man 7 is taken down after about a 4-yard pickup, and we have flags, and they're going to kill the clock again. They're going to have flags after the play. He may have been hit out of bounds. We'll have to see what happened. Ball's down at the 44-yard line. Also could be a hold on the rushing play. They are conferring with the Southaven bench. Meanwhile, the two groups of cheerleaders are having a dance-off on the sidelines here, and they are enjoying themselves.
They are having a good time.
They are that. A lot of pepper, a lot of salt, a lot of pepper.
I'm glad someone's having a good time
where's
tonight.
The Falcon? We haven't seen the Falcon in like 2 weeks.
The Falcon needs to go on the road with the team.
Yes. The officials again are conferring with the Southaven coaching staff.
We haven't.
It is a penalty on Southaven.
Okay.
I don't sure why they were talking to the Southaven coaching staff if it was on Southaven, but nonetheless, the ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line. So it was a hold, is what that was.
And that was the right call. It just took them a while to come to a consensus.
And so that will set up a second down and long. And they are going to run the clock. I was fixed to say you're supposed to run the clock on that. And they are. That's going to run the quarter out. That is the end of 3 quarters of play. At the end of 3, Southaven leads Columbus 37-14. This is Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Alrighty, set for the fourth quarter of play. It will be a second down and 18 when Southaven puts the ball back into play from its own 42-yard line. Southaven Chargers tonight at home on homecoming night looking for their third region win of the season. They are leading this football game by a score of 37-14. And we just continue to have conference after conference. The officials, okay, we're going to move it back.
Well, Scott, earlier you were confused. Now I'm confused.
The Houston Astros lead 2-0 in the 7th inning. Let's look at the positives.
Game 1 of the American League Championship Series.
That is correct.
Let's go Yankees.
I still find it odd saying Houston Astros American League Championship Series.
It is a challenging situation.
We also have quite the barn burner going on in college football tonight between number 2 Clemson and Syracuse up in the Carrier Dome.
Who's up?
Last I checked, it was Syracuse.
Go Orange, man.
Of course, the irony of the Carrier Dome.
Caleb Garner tweeting orange, so that apparently
orange in all caps.
Caleb Garner was listening to us earlier tonight. Hopefully he is still alongside with us. We'll have all the Nielsen ratings here in a few minutes because everybody else will be done.
I was going to say the irony of the Carrier Dome, at least up until a few years ago, was that obviously it's the company Carrier, the heating and cooling company that has the naming rights. It has for decades, yet the Carrier Dome has no air conditioning.
Okay, so second down and 18, and the pass is in the flats. It's complete and taken down behind the line of scrimmage for about a 1 yard loss, and that will set up a third down.
I thought he lost the football there.
Yeah, he did, but he was thrilled down when he did. It did come out at the end.
And Scott, a little late, perhaps, but it does look like Southaven is now going to the ultra-conservative route on the play calling on this drive.
Third down and long, third down and 25 for the Chargers.
Just a really good performance tonight for Southaven on their homecoming night. They had a really good game plan and came ready to play.
Here is the pass. It's in the flats to 7, who is brought down by Devin King, and that play goes for about 3 yards.
Good job by Devin. Open field, wrapped up number 7 quickly.
And that will bring the punt unit on for Southaven, and they will kick the ball away. 10:47 clock running here in the ball game. And Southaven leading Columbus by a score of 37-14.
And you would love a bad snap right here for your Columbus. They were going for it.
The punt is away. It is a short kick. It bounces at the 35 and will be downed at the 27. Kenneth Martin was the up back for Columbus, but he lets it roll dead there. So officially a 30-yard kick. And it will be a first down and 10 now for Columbus from its own 27 with 10:19 to go in the ball game.
And guys, final score, number 2 Clemson 24, Syracuse 27. Final.
So the Orange did it.
The Orange at home knocked off the defending and unbeaten national champions.
I bet they won't want to play on Friday again. First and 10 from the 27. It is a give up the middle. And the ball is loose, and Southaven says they have it, and it's all a matter of whether Patrick Jackson was down or not. They're going to, they're not going to give us a signal.
They pointed.
They didn't point, they just sort of like waved.
Yes. There still has been no signal. The chain's just standing there saying, what do we do? Because there's been no signal.
Okay, now they're going to say he's down.
Yeah, that's Southaven's defense ran off the field.
The call is he was down, and now the play clock is at 0. And the game clock has stopped.
Okay, well.
We had one official rather non-emphatically, casually saying he was down. There we go. And that's the right call. He was down.
Second down at 8 after a 2-yard pickup for Patrick there on first down. Back to throw is Craddock. Heavy pressure. He does get the ball away. Javoris Vance is out of bounds. Ball bounced off of his shoulder pads either way. And that will bring up a third down and long.
In coverage that time for Southaven was Mario Boyland.
The officiating has not had any impact on the winner of the ball game. However, they are not very aware of what they're trying to do.
It has not been a crisp game for the officials.
Third down and 8. Craddock under heavy pressure. He'll be sacked this time. He goes down around the 23-yard line. And the Southaven defense has again gotten the stop.
And once again, that was Reed. Kendarius Reed has come off the edge and has gotten a couple of sacks tonight. And it's been a tough night for the Columbus offensive line. They've had a hard time blocking the Southaven front 7 all night long.
So, back to punt the football is Chris Taylor. He will stand on his own 10-yard line. And the ball will go over to Southaven. Here is the kick. Heavy pressure. Chris gets it away. bounces at the 40, fielded at the 36, and taken down at the 35 by Isaiah Carroll. And so officially, that was a 42-yard punt. Southaven will take over 1st and 10 on its own 35 with 8 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the ball game.
And that was a good job by Chris Taylor, sort of moving out of the way and kicking it away across the field.
And it kind of feels like if the Falcons had any shot, that may have been the last chance right there with under 9 to play, down by 23.
Yeah, because you would have had to start this comeback in the third quarter. And because of the trade, you essentially don't have any difference.
But we sure are going to keep calling those penalties.
Well, if Southaven could learn how to line up correctly and not go off sides. And the Chargers right now, I'm looking at the numbers. Looks like they got a couple of backup offensive linemen in there, and maybe some guys who haven't played a whole lot of snaps this year, and somebody got an early start.
1st down 15, Southaven from its own 30-yard line. And this time the handoff is in the backfield. Josh Gray has a tackle for loss. And that's a new running back as well. Tristan Tucker, sophomore, brought down in the backfield by Josh.
They faked the end around. It did not fool the Falcons, though.
So 2nd down and about 19 or so. Knoxville County 49-20 over Kosciuszko tonight. So the Knoxville squad 2-0 in region play. 2nd down 19. Here is the give. It's to, we say Tucker, 21 again.
Correct. Yes, Tristan Tucker, only a sophomore, getting his first action of the night. And Southaven going to feel very good about themselves after this one, on top 37-14 with under 8 to go.
3rd down and long coming up for the Columbus defense. Again, a possession play. We'll try to get Southaven back off the field and get their offense another opportunity at it. Next Friday night, Oxford will be the opponent. Final home game of the year at Falcon Field. 7 o'clock, the kickoff, of course. We'll be on there at 6:30 from Columbus next Friday night. Come out and see the seniors for their final home game. Pass is in the flats, and it is incomplete because we need to throw incomplete passes at 9:41.
I mean, at this point, why stop?
Michael Jackson saying don't stop till you get enough.
Exactly. I mean, they are committed, so why stop now?
So the punting unit will come back out onto the field.
And of course, that was a lot of backups in there, and perhaps trying to get them a little bit of experience as they might be called upon later in the season. And Southaven, of course, wants to make a playoff push.
Heavy pressure. Kick is away, though, and it will angle and be downed at the 43-yard line.
And you have to think now, are you looking at more deep passes or play action even? They haven't been a whole lot of play action passes.
We will see what the Falcons want to do with 7:11 to go. We also will see what kind of defense Southaven will line up in. If they drop some guys back in zone coverage, then that might dictate what Columbus does offensively as they try to work out a few kinks. Looking at the rest of the schedule, Columbus will essentially be in a must-win situation from here on out, ending the year with Oxford, South Panola,
and
Hernando, yes.
Columbus called for the false start. Get a 5-yard mark off on the offense. Bring up a 1st down and 15 now from the 38-yard line. Craddock is back to throw, and it is intercepted at midfield, and this will be a touchdown for the Chargers. Going all the way with it is Mario Borland. And he will take it all the way in for the touchdown.
Second pick six tonight for Southaven. We've called Orland's name a lot tonight, and he made a cut on that ball, read the quarterback's eyes the whole way. And that is the icing on the homecoming cake for Southaven.
Was he the same one who did the pick six earlier?
I don't think so.
No. I don't think so? No, he wasn't? Okay. I know he said his name a whole lot tonight. I just didn't know if that was him.
No, it was 23 had the other one.
Okay.
Extra point attempt is up and good. 44-14 Southaven, 6:57 to go in the ball game. We'll be back. This is Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
The MSU Library will host workshops throughout the fall semester for students. Each class will go over a different topic that will be helpful in increasing students' understanding of the library, as well as giving out helpful hints on dissertations and grad student information. For the full list of workshops, visit library.msstate.edu/workshops.
6 minutes 57 seconds to go in the ball game, and Southaven, with their second defensive score of the night, has made this now a 44-14 ball game. 6 minutes 57 seconds left to play in the contest.
And it was a good job by the free safety. Actually, he came up, read it, and it exploded at the right time.
I would think the Falcons now, most likely with a 30-point deficit, simply keep the football on the ground as well and try to get us out of this contest. Xavier Stapleton wins the slam dunk contest tonight in men's basketball news.
No shocker there.
No, not at all. I hope he was able to get up and down on the good knee.
Yes. Xavier's had a injury-riddled career, but maybe pound for pound the best athlete on the men's basketball team this year for Mississippi State.
He certainly needs to save his dunks with the off-and-on knee problems that he's had. The basketball teams, men and women both, will open Friday night, November 11th in the Hump.
You and I will be there.
And certainly the women, coming off the appearance in the national championship ball game a year ago. And men certainly ready to turn the corner. Ben Howland's third season. Looking forward to hopefully returning to postseason play with them this year.
They feel like if they can avoid major injuries, they have a team that can make a run.
On first down, the pass attempt is incomplete. Brandon leads Meridian tonight 23-20. That's a surprisingly close ball game. Kind of surprised that Meridian has hung with Brandon tonight.
6A has been full of surprises tonight.
West Point won 44-0 tonight. Starkville won 14-6. Tupelo has come back and won 31-21.
Wow. What?
31-21 final over South Panola.
Wow.
So, yeah, South Panola turned it over 3 times in the fourth quarter, so that's where that one got away. Second down now, and the give is around the right side, and that was Derek Jordan again, and he'll be stopped for about a 3-yard pickup. So, what are you being attacked by?
I'm being attacked by a swarm of mosquitoes. My ankles have been showing it, and I'm wearing jeans.
And you and I...
No, I had the first...
Yeah, Scott and I
had the first problem.
I'm just sweeter than you guys.
Third down and 5 now after that pickup. Oak Hill Academy beats West Memphis Christian 14-13 tonight.
Big win for the Oak Hill Raiders.
Terry beats Oak Grove tonight, 28-27.
Whoa.
Oak Grove like Hattiesburg? Or like Oak Grove like?
No, Oak Grove, Mississippi.
Yes, Oak Grove, outside of Hattiesburg. Terry beats them tonight, 28-27.
All right.
That's Terry, as in Jackson Terry.
I took me a second to believe it, but I believe it.
If I was going to make something up, it would not be a Terry Oak Grove score. Ocean Springs has beaten Pascagoula 31-30 as well. Chris Taylor's punt attempt is in the air and rolls down. Well, it's It's fielded at the 43-yard line.
I'll tell you what, it's Southaven has done most things right tonight. One thing, though, that they will need some work on the rest of the season is fielding punts.
So Southaven will take it over 1st down and 10 from its own 43-yard line. Aberdeen has beaten Hatley 38-28 tonight. Really hadn't seen anything on New Hope.
We also haven't seen a score on the big Picayune Hattiesburg
It's
game.
Long Beach tonight, and Hattiesburg's next week. I was informed, well, I'm going to write it back up here. It's Hattiesburg next week, Long Beach tonight.
Okay.
New Hope has beaten Lake Central 27-6, so that'll put them in the playoffs this year.
Good for them. Good win for the Trojans.
1st down and 10 from the 43 for Southaven. Here is the snap. Quarterback's back to throw. Pass is incomplete in the flats. And another group of females continue to be impatient as we wait on the dance. And passes are being thrown, and they're not being completed.
5:15 to go. Well, I've been impressed with Southaven. I mean, they had their backs up against the wall, and they came out with a backup quarterback, and that huge second quarter set the tone for the rest of the ball game, and they have played very well tonight.
They have a victory that will send them to 3-1 in region play.
It's a huge win for the Chargers.
2nd down and 10 rather. This time it is a running play.
And Scott, we mentioned in the pregame, the winner of this one more than likely becomes the most likely number 4 seed as we head into the final 3 games of region play. Southaven at 3-1 certainly puts themselves in a very good position.
Our new running back is not on the roster. So that will bring up a 3rd down and 8.
So 2 things for Southaven. 1, work on punt returns. And 2, get the roster fixed.
Exactly.
Or at least put names on the jerseys so we know who's who.
This time it's Tucker. He's staying down behind the line of scrimmage for a 4-yard loss. And with 4 minutes to go in the ball game, the punt unit will be on for Southaven, and they will kick the football back to Columbus. The Columbus cheerleaders were doing cheer that involves go, 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 and I would like to go, go, go. I'm down with that.
They were asking permission and they could go, go, go.
Yes.
Home, home, home.
I feel bad for the band members because they can't leave till this game's over, and they're also missing their homecoming dance as well.
Yes, and there are hundreds of them too. Okay, we have a timeout called. The timeout is called on the field for Southaven. They did not have the right personnel on the field to get the punt off. And obviously, Anthony, going forward, the main question is the health of Lataria Stowers. That will have a major impact on the final 3 games of the season.
Without question. And even tonight, when he played the entire first half, obviously not himself. Was nowhere near 100%. Southaven knew that defensively. They sensed it early, and they came at him with a ton of blitzes, and there wasn't much he could do about it. Going forward, you're right. If the Falcons have a chance in the remaining 3 ball games, it all hinges on whether or not you have a healthy Lataria Stowers, who last I saw was sitting on the bench with his shoulder in ice wrap.
I honestly did not know Southaven football had a Twitter feed. We could have picked some names off of that probably. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Well, now we know for next year when they come back to Columbus with an equally messed up roster.
We do. There is a stoppage of play here and a penalty on Columbus. They were offside, so a 4-yard mark off. And we will eventually get to a punt here. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the ball game. The crowd is already, for the most part, headed to their either to the dance or to their radios for Jason Crowder.
Or both, maybe.
Yes, could be. Here is the punt, high end over end. It will not be fielded. Instead, will roll dead at the 16-yard line, and that's where Columbus will take it over. with 3:37 to go in the ball game.
So a chance now to work on some things as the Falcons continue to give some snaps and some reps to Jalen Craddock, the 5'11", 220-pound sophomore, has now played significant minutes in 3 straight ball games, 2 of those starts. And I would imagine he'll have to play some more meaningful snaps the rest of the way this year with the injury issues that Stowers unfortunately has encountered.
On first down, the pass is incomplete. No, they're going to rule it complete. In the backfield, it was a dump off to Quinn Robertson. It will go for a loss of 3. Quinn caught it as he went down to his knees, but they did give him the catch. And that will bring up second down and 13 now from the 13. Clock running 3 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the ball game. This time it's Craddock around right side. He's taken off of his feet after a short gain back to the original line of scrimmage, about a 4-yard pickup to the 17.
Now that's one thing I think we'll see Craddock do more of as he gets more comfortable. Design quarterback runs at 220 pounds and almost 6 feet tall. He's an athletic big kid.
So third down and 9 coming up from the 17. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the ball game. Craddock is back to throw. He's going to throw the deep ball, and it is just past the DB and just shy of the intended receiver, who actually had a step on the DB. That was Kenneth Martin.
Yeah, if Craddock gets an extra yard on that throw, Martin's headed for the end zone.
And so Chris Taylor will come on to punt for the final time tonight.
We think.
Confidence. We hope. 2:14 to go in the ball game. Southaven led by a score of 31-7 at the half. Columbus scored the first touchdown of the second half, but Southaven has tacked 2 more on since then, and will be cruising to a homecoming victory. The punt is down at the 33-yard line, so a nice finish to Chris's night. A 50-yard punt. Ball will go over to Southaven with exactly 2 minutes to go in the ball game, and we could go all kind of ways here. We could have 3 knees by the Chargers. We could have 3 incompletions and a punt, or we could have the officials stop and confer about what they don't really have, but they think they have 2 or 3 times.
Could we have a combination of choices B and C?
That being said, the band, once they did get off the field, have done a good job of staying off the field tonight.
They have.
2 minutes. They wind the clock before the ball snapped. So I see where the officials are.
The officials' heads.
They have now bought into this.
They're now screwed on straight.
They've just tuned in.
Okay, so it is no gain there on the first down pickup, and that was Zacharias Towns again. Second down and 9.
You mentioned Xavier and Stapleton winning the slam dunk contest. Also, no surprise that Q Weatherspoon won the 3-point shooting contest.
Second down and 9.
If you're keeping up with the Maroon Madness basketball scrimmage at Mississippi State.
Said it was a record crowd tonight. Didn't say the number, but certainly a lot of enthusiasm for both basketball programs. The second down run goes for a couple of yards.
The Columbus defense has fought hard all night long, but again, big plays haunted them the last 2 weeks, and it haunts them again tonight. Big plays through the passing attack, especially in the second quarter, doomed the Falcons' chances here tonight.
All righty, one last snap in this one. Southaven on 3rd down and 9 here. Play clock's at 7 seconds. They'll snap it. Game clock's at 20. Quarterback takes. It is a handoff. It is up the middle. And it is no gain. And that will do it. Southaven defeats Columbus by a final score of 44-14. We'll have a brief post-game for you after this timeout. Columbus Falcon football on 91.1 WMSV.
The programming heard on WMSV 91.1 FM is brought to you in part through support from the Columbus Municipal School District. For information on the Columbus schools or for events happening at the schools, visit columbuscityschools.org. One team, one Columbus.